The industry perspective is a space for those in the industry to speak freely about their experiences without fear of retaliation or a negative review. The views and opinions shared here are solely that of the individual and do not reflect the establishments in which they work. With that said, if you feel offended by these jokes, fuck it. We weren't expecting to get tipped by you anyway.
Cheers. I haven't done a red solo cup in a while.
I have 3.
You have 3?
Yeah, because I have one for my shot, one for my drink, and I got one for my water.
Playing King's Cup or something? Or what's that game where you
double cupping it up, bro?
Damn. Okay. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the podcast. We pull back the curtain, give you some insight what goes on and sees your favorite bar and restaurant. We like to call that the industry perspective, and we're in a different location right now, if you can't tell.
On-site edition.
On site. And do you want me to close this one too?
Yeah, like a school bus, like when you're on a school bus, you just close it. Yeah, there you go.
That one should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh. Insulated more.
So I'm so old that when I was in middle school, Strumming My Pain came out by the Fugees. And so we lived in the country. And we had these long bus rides, like about an hour, both ways. Exactly. So we would make fun by throwing like batteries and things at signs as we drove past. And that was a competition.
Just being delinquents?
Being delinquents. So one of the school years, we had the same school bus driver forever. And one of the years she was like, nah, you guys can't put your windows down anymore. And we were like, nah, that's against the law. You got to let us put our windows down.
Yeah, because it's hot as hell.
Yeah, because it's hot as fuck. And that's against the law. And so she'd be like, nah, you can only let it down like 1 notch. Or you can let it down 2 notch.
Oh, yeah.
And so when Strumming My Pain came out, everybody would fucking play the song like on a speaker or whatever. Strumming my pain with his fingers.
My God.
And when they say one time, we'd be like, 1 notch, 1 notch.
So, today we have a guest, or rather, we're the guests because we're not in our place. We're in somewhere else. So we're the guest with the guest.
Yeah.
But they're not the guest. So with us today is
our guest is also our host.
There we go. It's a very Inception kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is you want to tell people about yourself?
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Let's make sure I got you right here.
Bartender, I was a server, and casually ran into this guy right here at Shisha Baby. We talked to recognize him from the podcast.
You had yours muted.
Oh, you were
muted.
Yeah,
All right.
That's fine. Start over.
I was like, something's not right.
All right.
And then one other thing, no name.
Stop touching the pop filter.
All right. I'm good. All right.
And then try to avoid name dropping unless it's in a positive manner.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but go back to tell them who you were.
Yeah, so that was all muted. So today we're with...
Oh, good afternoon. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My
Malcolm.
name is Malcolm.
Treat it like a good date. No hands.
No hands. No hands. No. I'm getting rammed on right now. Man, I'm getting my ass kicked in my own home. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Malcom Roby. I'm here with Paulo and Nando. Paulo, I worked with formerly at Here and Now. And is that a name drop? Is that a name drop?
Well, it's nothing negative.
Not really. It's not the negative, but that's fine.
Plus, it doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, I thought
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
doesn't
So.
exist anymore, or came and went.
Yeah.
Oh.
Came and went.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
that's a good
we
one.
definitely want to make sure we use our past tense language appropriately. That being said, I'm born and raised Los Angeles. I live right here in downtown LA. I work full time as an HR recruiter / manager / consultant, and I worked in the industry for about 7-8 years. My first job was at In-N-Out Burger in Torrance.
Oh wow.
Damn.
I used to work that fucking 2-lane. I was the guy. I started on Handheld. They put me outside, and like that's another story I'll go into. But to bring it all together, about 7 years of industry experience. Transitioned to a server position that I worked for about 5 to 6 years now. Currently, I don't work a server job anywhere, but I'm privy to everything that's going on in terms of the trends, technology. We all love a good sit around and just talk about what happened on the ship. Sit and decompress, whatever.
Of course,
kind of like what we're doing now.
Right. Yeah. And we need these things. And to be honest, some of my best nights out in LA, actually, with my coworkers, were over conversations like this after a shift. So just the immense relief and camaraderie you get from almost from being around people who just like-minded, going through the same stuff you going through, at least on the clock, and come from all different walks of life. Out here just trying to hustle and make a living, and the serving spaces where we all come together. So definitely happy to be a guest / host on the show. We are in my beautiful downtown Los Angeles.
It is.
Apartment.
This is a dope spot. I wish I could show you guys.
Since October. I have another story as to how I got this place, but I've always wanted something like this. Born and raised LA, again, first generation college student. Paved the way for himself, worked his way through whatever corporate America he could get access to, and does industry work on the side. And now just kind of taking it one day at a time. I work at home 40 hours a week. That doesn't mean I'm not busy though. Like I get up and I'll be wearing this exact shit that y'all see right here. I'll wear this all day and I would still feel thoroughly exhausted, as though I just completed a full 9 to 5 or 8 hours.
Well, I mean, technically you still did. This is your uniform.
Yeah, that's what this is.
It's a very relaxed uniform.
Right. But otherwise, happy to be here, and let's get it cracking.
Well, thank you for having us, and thank you for being here at your place as a guest and a host.
Thank you for being home.
Yeah, thank you. I was gonna ask you, did you work in the service industry while you were going to college, or was it just straight books? Just that's it.
So when I would come home on breaks, my manager Gabe Hernandez, who's like my ride hard, die hard, he actually gave me a few references when I got like my professional jobs and shit. But he found out that I got my scholarship to Wisconsin, and he found out I got it from marching band, because sometimes I would be late for work, because I got this job when I was 17 in high school still, and I would be late to work because I would be like getting out of marching band practice, and I would get in my car and drive over. In and Out was like probably like 2 miles from my high school, and I would get there late and stuff. And he was like, "Where you coming from?" Like, "Oh, I was late at band practice and stuff." And he was just like, "Okay, I understand you're a leader in the band and blah blah blah, but you gotta organize your priorities." And he put me on. And when I found out I got my scholarship, he said that I can continue to come back and work on my breaks. So like winter break, summer break, I would come back to Los Angeles and I would work a full-time job at In and Out like I never know. And to be honest, I even ran into people from like my hometown, my high school and shit. And they was like, "Oh, Malcom, what's up? Like, oh, didn't you get that scholarship to go? And you I thought you went away to school." I was like, "Yeah, I'm back at home break."
They were trying to throw shade.
I wasn't tripping, because, and y'all gonna learn this more about me as y'all get to know me. Like, I literally worked for everything I fucking have. Like, I got the scholarship myself. I came from like an abusive ass household and shit. Like, my mom and stepdad, none of them believed in me. I was an outcast. I was this artistic band geek that was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out into the world. I'm gonna make something of myself." And when I applied for Posse, and I was just, I learned from a young age that I gotta maintain my own foundation in order to be out here, especially in a city like LA, because as you guys know, it's all about who you know.
Yep.
My current job that I got right now is all about who I know, and like literally, I walked into my current position just because I was connected well with the right people, and people had a long track record of having good interactions with me. So, yeah, in a nutshell.
So it's not just who you know; it's who knew you.
Yeah,
because they were willing to vouch for you because of those interactions.
Right. So aside from In and Out experience, I worked at Tom's Urban here now, for a bartender, and you were bartender. You was a bartender. I was a server.
No, I did both. I did both. I did both during the holiday because I would serve because they switched up the menu so often that I couldn't fucking remember a thing. Yeah. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go to the tables and say what's what."
Yeah.
My favorite thing, one of my favorite memories there is when we would work together, and you would tell me something like, oh, I got one last table there. Should we close it up, or I'm gonna start closing up or whatever? And I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Let's start putting the chairs up. Let's let them know that we're 20 minutes from close. Yeah. Eat your shit, drink your shit, and get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Every time I was working with him, he's like, I want to get these people fucking out of here already.
I just don't understand where that changed when it came to customer service, where the customers, the guests, whatever you want to call them, they can come in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes or whatever before closing, and they still want the same level of service, but you aren't allowed to let them know, like, you know, hey, you're kind of fucking us right now. We're supposed to be cleaning up. We're trying to go home. You know, that's considered being rude, but the guest is being rude by coming in at that time.
They're guests. That's the key word here is guest. Guest.
Yeah.
Take guest.
Yeah,
guess.
Take a guess. Or you can take a Google.
Right.
And see that we close at this time.
People would do that all the time at In-N-Out too.
Yeah,
and like
really.
If they were in line because In-N-Out closed at 1:30. If they were in line at 1:30, we had to serve them. If that line was, because I worked at a small 2-lane store. I don't know if you guys seen those, because they have the big dining rooms.
I don't go to In-N-Out.
And In-N-Out, they have like this picture box, like just 2-lane small store. Store space internally is probably about as big as my apartment.
Yeah.
We have 2 lanes on each side, and about 10 to 15 cars on each side. Like,
wow.
Yeah, like day in and day out. So, yeah.
When I was living in Phoenix, there was one by my dad's house. That one was always fucking packed. And
I remember
once or twice I was one of those people that would go there like maybe 10 minutes before the closing time. Okay, 10 minutes. Because I knew the line was long. It's like, okay, well, if I get there, then it wasn't long, but it was like it was in the parameters of the cone they had, like the little sign. Yeah, the sign that basically indicates like if you're here in here, then you're good at close. If you're not, sorry.
And, like try to like move those cones like at 1:30. I would like run out. Go. And I run out. I have my handheld on, my like paper hat is like trying to fall off the sides and shit. And I'm like running towards the cars, and I would just like go and be like. And we had one lady drive through the fucking cones. Like, no, we had one.
Wait, she drove through the cone?
She drove through the fucking cones. Like we said, okay, our point of service ends right here. Like we're no longer serving people. That's basically what the cones say. And this bitch like drove over them, and like we still served her. Yeah.
See,
that
is kind of like a
that is a negative reinforcement.
It is.
I'm sorry.
It is absolutely.
It is. It's very. It's terrible because at places where we work, that you allow the customer, the guest, to basically throw you around and do whatever the fuck they want because they want people to spread word of mouth. And I know that was a big thing at our place because it's like, oh, we need to get more locals and this and that and word of mouth or whatever. So let's do whatever we can. And the whole time you have this menu that's curated for a different type of environment instead of curating it to the people that lived upstairs. Yeah. And that was something that I had actually spoken to a former coworker of ours. She said the same thing. It's like people have this bar below their apartments. They don't really care for this, that, and the third. They want fucking $5 beer and a shot, a Boilermaker, $7-8.
If you're downstairs, they want convenience.
Yeah, they don't care for because a lot of the
curation, they want convenience. If you're downstairs, you're a convenience store at that point. So
basically,
act like a convenience store, not water down your menu. Don't dumb down your product, but at the same time, cater to the people who live above you, and they'll be downstairs.
And there's nothing wrong with being convenient because a lot, if not most, of the people that lived in those apartments, they really just got the simple shit, fucking vodka soda or vodka orange juice, whatever the hell it is. I remember like distinctly a couple that always come in, they got the same shit every single time, never got anything on the menu, and they lived upstairs. So really, like, who are you doing it for?
Right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with convenience. A lot of people
there's nothing wrong with it.
A lot of people are on this planet because of convenience. Because someone else answered the phone at 2 a.m. Somebody answered a "you up" text, and now you exist.
I mean, God!
To being conveniently conceived.
Yeah. Is that what the CC is on the email?
Conveniently. See, how'd you know? How did you know? Who told? Who told? Oh my God. I was gonna ask you two things, but then I wanted to frame it a different way. One, I was gonna say, what is your best experience from working in the service industry, and then what is your worst? But then I was also gonna frame it a different way to make it relatable to me. Is what was your best experience working at that spot and the worst? But you can answer it whichever way you want.
Okay, we'll start with here and now, or came and went, because we want to. We'll just say that.
No funny. Even went.
Yeah, came and went. We'll start with came and went. And best experience there was, let's see, right when COVID. Well, COVID is still, it's here to stay. It's a virus that has mutated, and that is well among us human beings right now. And we did our best to stay safe, and we lost a few people. We got to drink to them. I lost a few people to COVID. And coming out of the pandemic, I started working there, and I was just a server. Best experience was seeing my friend Matthew Grant perform on the patio when people were trying to be all, well, at least, legislation required us to be, cognizant of 6 feet apart, blah, 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 all that stuff. We just had to keep in mind, social distance. So that being said, just being on the patio.
Wait, they had performances on the patio?
Yes, on the back patio. The back patio was like, how it was like kind of small and compacted for the Christmas portion? Yeah. It was extended at least 3 times that. Yes. And my, Matthew Grant, whose music I was playing earlier, he would come and perform on the patio. I actually took my saxophone and performed live twice at Here and Now, and played with him. Like we told.
Oh shit!
It was good. It was a really good.
He's a musician as well, by the way.
Saxophone player here, jazz musician, classically trained.
That wasn't mentioned earlier.
So just been out there. Good ass weather. People in the arts district out. That are just out to spend money, have a good drink, and enjoy the night. Hey, don't y'all love them customers that just they come through, they just know what they want.
Yes. Of course. Absolutely. That's the dream customer.
They don't sit there and try to bring over any other emotions or insecurities that are going on in their
That's my birthday wish every year when I blow out the candles. It's like, oh, wish for something. Wish for customers to know what the fuck they want.
Exactly. Just that
never comes true.
Because the candles are always tricks. Let me see.
Worst encounter. Man. How do I pick? Damn, it was a lot. It was a lot. Like that.
It's always hard to sort through.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like when they ask like what encounter.
Because worst is subjective. Like
it is subjective.
It is subjective. Like what do you remember the most?
It doesn't have to be worse. Like
I don't want to go on a rant with this, but
why not? That's
why
what
not?
the show is
I wanted to get this the fuck out. And
do it.
Sorry. Oh no.
No, go. Yeah, you can cuss. Go ahead.
By the way, what's up, motherfuckers?
Oh yeah, you did forget to do that.
Yeah, because we just went right in.
We did,
as we should. But
yeah, you can cuss. Go ahead.
Okay, my thing is, my worst experiences that have been the most just mind tugging and annoying and just annoying as hell, and made me grit my teeth is when people come through and expect you to read them the menu.
Oof.
And after having so many of these experiences, I've come to the conclusion that I've narrowed it down to a demographic of people that usually do this. These are usually women who, they want their, and I remember I mentioned this to you way back. Women who want their emotional needs met by their server. Yeah. So here's a prime example of that. So you have a girl that comes in. Well, a group of girls that come in. Out of like 4 of them, I say one of them will be straight to the point and just be like, okay, give me a Modelo or give me a mezcal, neat on the rocks, whatever. They'll be very specific as to how they want the drink. Like whether they give you a name of the drink or a variation of it, boom. It's simple. But the other ones, however, will ask you, is this one good? What is this? Like, what about that one? Tell me about that one. And the thing is, like us dudes, like we go in, we have an idea of what we want,
right?
And I feel like girls, they kind of, in expecting to, I think it comes from the classical, like women are naturally more they're feminine, they're flirtatious, their energy is more like a cat, kind of, like they kind of pet.
Yeah.
Whereas like as a dog, like we obviously don't communicate like that, but I find that a lot of women kind of like when I go to the table, analogy I give it is like a group of women just sit at the table, like just wagging their tails like cats, like just kind of like, oh hey, like we might want this one, but and this all comes look, and I really had time to think about this, like working as a server, and it all comes home to roost when they send the drink back. They spend time questioning you extensively about the ingredients of something. Like if I look at a drink and a name, and I had, for one, off the record, I had very high reading comprehension scores. I like to read things, especially menus when I go to restaurants, just to kind of see what's, get a sense of what ingredients they have in the restaurant. I feel like a lot of people don't think holistically like that. They just more so go for what they imagine it to be in their minds. And I feel like women tend to be more in that realm of thought or disposition that way. So yeah, they ask those kind of stupid questions. So anyway, when it comes down to it, just women not know what they want. Women not know
you heard it here first.
Not knowing what they want.
Women don't know what they want.
Not knowing what they want.
They'll ask you for what's in it. Is this good? This and that. And then when they send it back, I'll just take the espresso martini. Every time.
Yeah, you made a lot of those.
Or
which is,
drop.
oh my God.
Either espresso martini or a lemon drop.
You made a lot of those, yeah.
When in doubt, they want something in a coupe. It's just
which is fine.
It's got to look pretty. It's got to be pretty.
And that's okay. Just say that first.
Yeah.
Just say that first. Honestly,
I do understand there is this level of trepidation. Like they don't want to feel judged for getting the wrong thing, or say they say it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Not just women, just people in general. When it comes to people who want you to walk them through a menu, is because they don't want to pick the wrong thing. Well, that's just a part of life. Sometimes you get the wrong thing, you still pay for it, you still finish it, and then you remember not to order that thing again. But, over the last 15, 20 years, we've just been so conditioned, especially within our industry, that, if you don't like it, just send it back and get another one. But not every business is set up to accommodate that, because everything that gets sent back, it is now waste. Just because you send back a drink doesn't mean that we can then sell it to someone else. If you send back your food, I know that, we see those memes and those videos, those jokes about, dead food comes back and people just jump on it like an animal carcass. But how rare is that? That's why people in the back of the house act that way when, a plate of food that no one ever touched comes back, is now dead, and it's a free for all, and the chef tells you, go ahead, just get it out my window. It's because they got to write that off as waste. At least if they give it to their employees, they can write it off as something within the same vein as a family meal.
But
writing off an actual martini or beer or whatever, you can't just write that off and say that you gave it to your employees, because then when they check those records, you're fucked. Like, I gave away 20 shots to my employees this week.
Like, what do you mean?
Wait, what? You gave
were they able to pour and serve? Yes, in a safe and correct manner. There's not some magical bin where we just pour all the alcohol in there and then we're able to redistribute it later. Maybe there's some misconception that, like you said, they can just resell it. No, you just drank out of it or whatever. Once it hits that table, once we transfer from our plate carrier, whatever the fuck it is, to your table, we are no longer able to redistribute that to anybody else. No. Like that is
especially if we turn away. If we turn away, walk away, anything.
That's in the test we take.
Give that back.
We can't. It's a health hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once it hits your table, that's it.
And it's gone. And someone still had to pay for it.
Yeah.
And I think that is, in this realm of online shopping and Amazon and things like that, we bought stuff for the show that we're not able to use and we have to take back. So we're able to send that back. Well, that's an actual tangible good that can be reused. You can't reuse alcohol. You can't reuse food. Like, you just can't do that. So when it comes to those kind of industries, you gotta think that through before you start ordering things and start sending it back. And sometimes, you just don't get the thing that you want, and maybe it's not as good as you like, but suck it up. You're an adult. We all have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But don't make it your server, your bartender, your wait staff, whoever. Don't make it their fault because you don't like a thing, especially when you just pointed at a menu. I hate it when people ask you to come over and you get to them and they go,
Yeah.
use your words. I say it every time. Use your words, because a lot of times they'll do this move.
That being said, what do you think about the notion of the customer is always right?
But again, like what I'm saying is when they look like this and then they turn and go like this, they don't end up pointing at the thing that they want. So they're not always right. So that's what I'm saying.
That is probably the biggest saying that has been mistaken or misconstrued.
Misconstrued,
yeah. Because you cut it off right at the last sentence. The customer's always right when it comes to taste. That is the full saying. That is the entirety of that saying. So when people say the customer's always right when it comes to taste. So like if somebody asks me, hey, what do you think about this and this? Oh, well, I feel that the blank, blank, blank margarita is better than the this and that martini. And they can say, no, I think the martini might be better. Of course, yeah, absolutely. You're right, it is. That's when they're right. Mm-hmm. Not when it comes down to arguing whether you paid for this or not. That's not what that means. That's not when, oh, well, I sent this back. Yeah, you drank half of it. So it's still going on your bill. No. But the customer's always right. No. That is not where that saying applies. The customer is always right when it comes to taste. That is the entirety of that saying.
And what's a memorable time for you where that's happened, Malcolm? Yeah. And how did you handle that? just one that pops out. Like,
the first one.
The espresso martini thing. I feel like a lot of dumb bitches. Dumb bitches. Because that's what I would think when they would send this back and they would call me over to the table and I'd be like, what's going on? You know, I'll be cordial. I'll be nice and polite. I walk through the steps. What's going on? I don't like this. And it's like, of course you don't. It's like you didn't do your fucking research. But anyway, these bitches would see like me running like espresso martinis to tables, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?"
I hate
so
the
much
what is
so that the former employer of mine, who I worked at, there was a thing on the menu called "Oh, what's that?"
What's that?
And
mm-hmm.
that's literally, and when I saw it on the menu, punch it, and I quickly understood why, because, you know, bitches see it and they be like, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Literally. And it's only girls that do it. Like, I've never had a guy.
Oh, I've had plenty.
Oh, what's that?
I've had plenty.
No, at that place, because of the cup, I was talking about it that a couple weeks ago. I don't fucking remember. But it was the cup that's like a tall-ass teacup with a stem.
Yeah.
And people would always say, like, oh, what's that? So they named it that. Yeah. And they named it that. It's kind of clever, whatever. But like you said, I've never heard a guy go, oh, what's that? Can I have that? They want it in a regular glass.
Yeah. Right. Well, everyone wants everything in a regular glass. Yeah. I get really baffled by people saying, well, what is that? That looks good. I want it. But you don't know what's in it. Like, what if you're allergic to something that's in it? What if you hate tequila and this is a tequila drink? I've had that happen a lot.
I mean, how much it happened to me about the girls that would do that. It's like you see this, like looking for like the partner or perfect partner out there or relationship. A lot of women see like this, this apex masculine alpha male Jew, and they're drawn to them and they're like, yo, all right, and they subconsciously have all these attributes of like the perfect partner, and they project that onto them and they go, oh, what's that? Like, yeah, I want that. They think they want it, but they don't. No. They give it this nigga and he starts beating her ass. He starts cheating on her.
Damn.
He just be running the streets.
How we both talking about tequila?
Exactly. We are. Because that's what I do when I drink tequila and shit.
Just beat up random people and run around the streets?
No, I run the streets.
All right, let's get you some vodka from now on, all right? You are strictly vodka. You're one of those people who gets to say, I can't drink tequila. You're absolutely right.
I put in my time. I put in my laps.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
Everything.
I understand that, you know, for some people, the best way to learn what they might like or whether something is enticing to them is visual. So when they see something and it looks visually appealing, I can understand a tendency to be drawn to that. But ask what's in it. Don't say, what is that? Say, can you let me know what's in that? You know, maybe I might like it, maybe I won't. Because the amount of times I've put an old fashioned down and made it look good, as I always do, and then someone says, oh, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's an old fashioned. And they don't know what an old fashioned is. And they just order it. And then they take a sip. And they're like, oh my God, this is strong as fuck. And I'm like, yeah, it's nothing but the spirit and a little bit of sweetener and some bitters. Like, that's it. That's it. You know,
that's literally it.
I mean, that's what you asked for. You asked me what it was. You asked for it, and I gave it to you. You asked me if I like it. I do like a good old fashioned. Why wouldn't I like a good old fashioned? I like the taste of spirits. I don't drink to get drunk. I drink because I like the taste of alcohol. That's why it's easy to stop after 3 or 4, if that's how many I have. Sometimes I'll have 1 or 2 because I like the taste of alcohol. But my goal when I go out is not to get fucked up. Mostly because I hate apologizing. I hate apologizing.
I hate the spins. That's why I don't.
Cut off his mic. It's like, cut off his mic. Done. Stop.
I hate having the spins.
I'm a tequila guy
When
too.
you-
Cut off his mic.
When you sit down in bed and you try to go to sleep, I hate that shit.
Does the
spins.
1 foot thing work for you or no?
Man, that's some bullshit. It does not work.
It
I
works for
tried
me.
it. It doesn't. It's not that it doesn't work. It's not effective enough. Like it's not as effective as I thought it was.
Okay, so I guess my question, does it work for you?
No,
No?
not at all.
How high is your bed?
Shit, I like a little bit lower than this ledge.
A little bit lower?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where mine is. That should work because it's more so about mentally giving your brain it's like leveling.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, the ground is here. This is flat, and it kind of like helps you.
And the ground starts
center yourself.
wobbling too, and I'm like, God damn it!
Why is the ground wobbling?
I don't know.
Oh, it's because it's LA. It's an earthquake.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I missed the last 3 that we've had. You know, the one we just had a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Didn't know. I just saw people.
You didn't feel that,
Fuck no.
bro? I was sitting at the computer, and then my door started wobbling. I'm like, oh shit, that's an earthquake.
Nah, I still ain't seen one.
I
No,
never
they've
heard
happened.
shit.
Yeah.
They've happened a couple of times. I'm laying in bed and head's wobbling. My mind goes to
Wait, what floor are you guys on?
we're on the 12. Yeah, we're gonna feel it all the way up there. My mind goes
I had it
to
happen in Seattle when I was on the 27th.
oh, that's terrible.
Bruh, there was one night when I lived there where the wind was blowing so bad you could feel the building swaying. And
That's fucking terrifying.
And I asked the people at the front desk, I was like, yo, is that like a common thing? Like I felt the building moving. They were like, oh yeah, that's common.
Oh, yeah.
I worked when I first got back from school and I got my first professional job in downtown. I worked as a researcher in Thomson Reuters at the U.S. Bank Tower. I was on the 35th floor,
Ooh.
and we had several earthquakes, and we've had the building like wave.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that shit like started moving on my desk. And
Building's
my
like,
cubicle-
bye guys.
I was like, oh.
Thanks for visiting Los Angeles,
Like, as in,
U.S. Bank.
I was looking out the window at like another building that was adjacent. I think it's a Bank of America tower that's like right behind it, kind of.
Yeah.
And as we swayed, I could see we swayed a good 10 feet to the right. So yeah, it was noticeable.
Yeah, them buildings be
It was
moving,
noticeable.
man.
That's
All you
fucking
hear is
terrifying.
screeching and metal and screws and
Yeah.
That would have been my last day working there.
yeah.
Fuck that shit.
You look
Fuck
like the
that shit.
Popeye's chicken lady.
Bro, I couldn't do it. How long were you there for?
I was there for a year. Yeah.
That's a year longer than I would have been.
Yeah.
It is a. Oh, she knows her. Drunk people out on the streets. We can hear people on the street. This is pretty cool.
Man.
Pretty cool. Oh, I'm being nosy. Sorry. I'm being nosy now. I'm listening to it.
Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Sorry. I wanted to know what she said, fool.
I don't know. Man.
I don't know.
wasn't
I don't know
there for
either.
it.
Shit. What was I gonna say now? I got super distracted by the random conversation. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys this video because it's like it's super fucked up, and I'm in this video, and this video will be shown and discussed for the next couple of episodes. I can tell already as we get what.
No, I was reacting to what you said.
While we get some of our other members' reactions on it too.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be a good one. We're gonna talk about it for a couple episodes at least. So I'm gonna show it to us here. We don't have it. I don't know if I'll put it on thing whenever this gets edited.
We'll throw it on.
But it's. Let me see how long it is. It's 2 minutes long.
That's what she said.
You don't get a
Average
bell
time
for that.
right there, huh, Paulo? Average time.
It's 2 minutes long, so I don't know if we want to put that on the thing. Okay. Anyways, so here I'm gonna show us.
Wait, so we're breaking right now? No. We're still rolling. Okay, cool.
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular. This automated grill gives the meat its sizzle. As this restaurant goes robotic.
For this burger, it would take about 120 seconds.
Cali Express by Flippy is the world's first AI-powered eatery. There's new technology outside the kitchen, too.
A cheeseburger.
Order kiosks use facial recognition to remember you, your favorite food, and how you like to pay. Then watch the robots work. No humans required.
We can't get enough people to come out to work on fryers and grills, and they're dangerous jobs. And this automation helps solve a lot of those issues.
Alana, have someone?
62% of restaurants report being understaffed. Industry experts say most of those unfilled jobs could be done by robots. And in California, where the minimum wage for most fast food workers will soon be $20 an hour, fewer workers equals cost savings. Dan Ives is with Wedbush Securities, a wealth management firm.
Once the minimum wage went to 20, that's the bell going off. More and more focus on spending on AI. Because look, that's inflationary. That's the problem. You can't necessarily pass all that to the consumer.
Flippy can cook 250 pounds of French fries an hour. The burger bot, 100 patties.
These restaurants are very, very busy at peak times, and every second that gets added to somebody waiting in the drive-thru is a lost revenue opportunity for that restaurant.
Is it costing people their jobs?
That's not what we've seen. It's really here to help people.
Humans at Cali Express will put the finishing touches on orders. For customers, the price of the meals are competitive. As for taste,
Is it going to affect the quality and the taste?
I would say yes, in a good way, because now each burger is being cooked precisely the same way every time.
time will tell whether AI takes over kitchens everywhere. That will be up to the public to chew on.
So
It's good writing.
there's a lot there to dissect. I came across this and I was so glad I did, because this is a great.
That was a lot to digest.
That was a good one. Yeah, so there's a lot there. I will open the floor to you gentlemen, and you guys can give your 2-3 cents that they're clearly saving by using AI.
I'm still digesting that.
I know it's a lot.
If y'all need some more time, I have some thoughts. I'm perfectly fine with starting this off. So remember how we started using AI for some of our, marketing stuff, like some of our stuff on Instagram, TikTok, and everything like that. AI definitely has a place. I do understand the allure of using robots, especially when it comes to something like fast food. When it comes to cooking, it means you have less opportunity that you're going to have food waste because things are going to get cooked the right way. Seeing that they had people finishing the product as far as putting the sandwiches together, like the way that whoever edited that visually, they edited it the right way to make it seem like the robots were taking the jobs of people in general. When really the robots were taking the jobs of the fry cook.
Yeah.
So, okay, I can understand where as I said before, I can understand the allure of that. However, the same thing that's been said for the last 30 fucking years, if not longer.
Robots are taking over.
Robots are taking over. They took our jobs, everything. Okay. Yeah. Well, they are streamlining certain parts of the job.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore the people who are being hired at this higher rate, you have to be better at your job. You're not going to be able to keep that job by doing a mediocre job because you're just the sandwich builder.
Yeah.
It's like working at fucking IKEA.
Like putting Legos together.
Yeah.
Everything's already, you just got to follow the instructions.
At the end, following the instructions, putting this shitty table together and wrapping it up and handing it to someone in their car.
You didn't build it, you just put it together.
Right. So, I mean, I can understand the pluses to it. You know, there are also some minuses. The number one thing that really bugs me about that video is it just shows how many people eat fast food to where you need fast food to be produced that quickly. And the part that really fucked me up was when that one guy was like, oh, well, what about when they're saying that this is coming for people's jobs or taking away people's jobs? It's like, we haven't seen that in the data. This is here to help people. No, what you're saying is we couldn't get anyone to do this shitty fucking job
because we weren't going to pay them.
Paying enough. And then when the government forced us to pay more because the people voted on it and said, you need to pay people more, they said, you know what? I'll get a robot to do it. I'm going to keep my costs low. I'm going to keep my revenue high. Fuck you. That's what they're saying. And you're letting them say it by going to these huge fast food, these huge chains. Actually, let's let that go off into a topic that, you know, is something that I'd like to have go on with this discussion for a while, if we can do that with our other members and other guests, depending on how long this goes. But the preference between people, between going to a mom and pop or a local chain or a local business as opposed to going to the big box chains, whether it be a McDonald's, a Denny's or something like that. You know, you get these people that they go to these tried and true places that just give you the most blandest food that they possibly can. And they give it to you at a price that they try to mark down because it's made out of cardboard. And they don't care about the flavor. They just want to give you processed food as quickly as possible to shut you up, which our industry has a direct hand in. Because when are a lot of people going to get fast food?
After the bar.
Leave the fucking bar.
Once they're all drunk and I can get dollar menu, whatever. Which the dollar menu doesn't exist anymore. So
no, it's a value menu.
It's a value menu.
Once they change it to value menu, I tap out. But I will say though, you know, there is a deeper discussion that needs to be had, and I'd like to keep having it, where we talk about how much people are actually supporting the smaller businesses, the smaller restaurants, the smaller coffee shops, the smaller bars. All of that. When you go to get a cup of coffee, why do you only go to Starbucks? Oh, because you know they're going to make it this particular way, this and that. But you might pass 5 coffee shops on your way to Starbucks.
You might pass your favorite one. And you will never know. The other thing that really disturbed me about that video was everything you did say, yes. And then the last thing the guy said was like, oh, we haven't seen that yet. You know, it hasn't shown up in the data. It's like you said, you're cutting corners. How shitty of a place do you have to be where you just refuse to pay people more? Now you want to pay for the robots because you know you won't have to fucking pay them again until they break down?
Yeah, but then you have to pay a human to come fix the
robot.
To come
fucking fix it.
Now you got to pay for maintenance.
Yes,
you're paying either way.
Exactly. You're paying either way. The choice is: do you want to look like a shitty person in a company, or do you want to do the right thing and pay the person so that way you're just gonna take extra steps. You're gonna spend the same amount of money. You're just taking more steps to get there, and now people fucking hate you for it. And now you're gonna get
stupidity with extra steps.
It really is. It's
take care of people, employ the right people. You know, make sure that you're paying them a livable wage. Make sure that they're able to work a job in a healthy environment. that they're able to still take care of their kids, their family, or whatever outside of it. Work-life balance.
And
if you're a good employer, the majority of your employees will be good employees, and then you don't have to worry about hiring a robot to do the job.
it starts with fast food, but it's gonna go everywhere else. Actually, it's in Vegas. You seen the robot bartender in Vegas?
No, not in Vegas, but I've been seeing robot bartenders for a few years now.
Yeah,
a few years.
I've seen the one in Vegas, and literally just giant robot arms shaking cocktails and shit.
Yeah.
No personality though.
Nope.
They don't talk to you. They ask you how your day is or
And
whatever.
robot will not keep your secrets because they send that video. It has facial recognition.
Yep.
And you come up there, you're gonna be like, "Hi, John. This is not the same bitch you were in here with last week. What do they want?
This is not your wife. Who is your new companion?
Like, come on, man.
Oh shit.
You need us. You need us there to take care of your secrets, man. You really do.
Are you gonna come back and chime in?
Yes. Do you guys want some? I just made some honey lemon chicken mashed potatoes.
Well, that'll be after.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's offering us food.
Yeah, he's offering us
It's very
food.
hard to turn down, especially service industry. You're like,
Yeah.
God damn, we're in the middle of the rush, but
We're-
damn, that food sounds good. Like,
I gotta go back there
to
just
the back. You just
take a fry.
You take shifts. Like he's in the back getting his food, and then he comes back, and then he tags in the next. That is pure service industry, man. Because I mean, shit. I just had this happen a couple days ago at work where Garrett, shout out to Garrett, but he was like, "You think I can take a smoke break?" I was like, "Man, you go ahead and take a smoke break, because when you get back, I'm taking a break."
Taking my break.
I'm taking 5 minutes, like the same as your smoke break. You
Oh
know?
my God.
I don't care about your smoke break, but just know for every smoke break you take, I'm taking a break at some point. And that's for all of my non-smokers out there, because I've always heard about how, unfair it may be for people who don't smoke compared to people who do. And like, I got to take a smoke break. I got a minute. You got to let me get out there and get my nerves right and this and that. And it's like, you're right. I'm not knocking you for taking that smoke break. We all do what we got to do. I don't smoke nicotine. My smoke break, it ain't a 5-minute break. I'm sorry. That's after work. Trust me. But I'm not going to knock you for that. But if you need 5 minutes to get your nerves right, you need to come back with that same energy for me. Like, yo, you need to take 5 minutes. You need to take a minute to go outside just to breathe. And I can tell you the majority of places I worked at, a lot of people wouldn't do that.
No. And it's fucking, it's one of those places where when you wake up and you go, you're like, fuck, I gotta go do this shit.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna look out for me. I gotta look out for myself.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Or someone takes a smoke break as 5 customers walk up and they just leave you with them. It's like oh, you gonna go take a smoke break?
Where are you
now?
going?
Come on, man.
Where are you going?
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to
Oh
me.
my God. I hate that shit.
You just got to be considerate, man.
I hate that shit.
And a lot of problems that we all have comes from people not being considerate, not being communicative, just disappearing, going and doing whatever. The people who go take a smoke break without talking to you. I'm not your boss. I know you don't need my permission to take your smoke break, but
I appreciate you letting me know, like, hey, I'm going to go. Is it cool if I go? Yeah. Go ahead, dude.
Well,
You don't have to ask me, but.
I mean, can you speak to this? Have you been in a situation, say, where you're serving or bartending?
I'm actually the culprit that you guys are.
Oh my God.
I have made my appearance. Thank you for having me tonight. And I am going to be offering another perspective on this issue.
Okay.
That you two are obviously very passionate about. So when it comes down to it, just hopping in.
Okay.
And y'all gonna swing on me for this, but I'm that coworker that randomly disappears, smoke breaks and shit. Yeah, that's me.
Honestly, I appreciate that you are.
Nice to meet you.
I appreciate that you are.
Okay.
Because
I'm that motherfucker.
We can't all be on the same side.
And
Yeah.
I felt like I acted negligently, and I was unfair. I was rude. I wasn't considerate of my fellow coworkers' time because this is when I worked at places where I knew they were gonna close and shit. Like I didn't do this on a regular basis, but when I knew we were like, okay, this is the last fucking week. What are you gonna do? Write me up?
Yeah.
Oh, that goes on record for like what,
Oh,
another
no.
week that this place is open.
Yeah.
Who's that going to?
Right.
How you gonna punish me? We all getting fired next week.
So
We're all out of a job, including you.
Yeah.
my last few weeks at a recent spot, I just would take like smoke breaks. When I felt like it, I would go and hit my pen. I would like hit my cigarette or whatever, and I'd be out there for like 20, 30 minutes in addition to my 30 minutes. So, oh yeah, I was going hard. I was going hard, man. Like, but the thing is, I would peek in and make sure my section was okay.
As long as your section's okay. I mean, I'll give you that.
Not that bad. Not that bad. Especially like the way
Somebody ran your food.
Right. The way that the layout of my previous employer came and went, positioned, it just made it easy because it's like a giant vertical L.
Yeah, straight down.
Yep.
It was straight down.
You can see straight through the restaurant, so it was easy to just kind of gauge.
Oh man.
For effort.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're being cognizant of it, that's fine. It's the people who just leave the venue, leave the room, you know, and just leave you hanging. That's a whole different monster. You know, you can be negligent short term, being selfish short term. I feel like within this industry, we're all allowed that. We spend so much time looking out for our coworkers, looking out for guests first, all these different things, health codes, everything. Responsible service, which I'm still in the middle of doing my RBS. It's taking me 2 fucking days, you know, because you have to listen to everything before you can take the test, you know?
Hate that shit.
I had already done, sorry, sidebar. I had already done my responsible whatever alcohol serving thing when I moved here in 21. Then all of a sudden in 22, they come up with this new thing.
You got to do
then
that
in
one.
23, I hear rumors about it. And now in 24, they're like, oh, you got to have it. But then I go take the test. Half of it ain't even dealing with alcohol. It's dealing with cannabis sales and some other shit.
Oh.
You could have just did that on a separate thing.
Oh.
I shouldn't have to do that.
They're trying to like bundle it together as a whole thing.
This ain't
that's
progressive.
fucking stupid.
Like, what the fuck? I didn't ask for the bundle. I asked
That's
for the
fucking
alcohol
dumb.
shit, which is why I did it in the first fucking
Yeah,
place.
unless your place is selling weed.
Which is not.
Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. You know, but yeah, it's we have so much that we have to think about, and it's hard to be able to give that same level of service, and you may have your own personal things to add on top of that. You may be working with that one coworker that you cannot fucking stand, and you got to deal with that. It's okay to be selfish every once in a while. It's okay to like step outside without talking to anybody every once in a while. What I'm talking about, and I feel you were talking about, is those people who never look out for anybody, whether a place is closing or not.
Yeah.
The place could be on fire, and they know it's on fire, and they're outside smoking while the inside is on fire. Like, that's a different animal. You know, I've had coworkers who
They light their cigarette with the fire.
They're the ones who said it. You never know. You know, I've had coworkers come in on a Friday night and give random lying ass excuses saying that they got some personal shit at home just so that they can go party with their fucking friends. That's rude. That's inconsiderate. If you didn't get the night off, you didn't get the night off.
There'll be
We
another
need you
one.
here, man.
There'll be another fucking night off.
Yeah.
What's some pet peeves you have with coworkers? Like what are some things that people you've worked with
Let's do it.
that, you know, either a server, bartender, busser, cooks?
You said I can't touch that. I want to adjust it a little bit. Maybe.
You can.
Push it back. Yeah, you can.
Wait, a little bit. Okay, cool. Yep. Got it.
Yeah, a server, cook, bartender, manager, whomever.
Okay, let's start with the cooks.
Oh shit, you going down the
The cooks. Let's start with the fucking cooks. So every restaurant that I've worked at, there's always been, you know, like cooks. You're in the heat of it, and you feel the gist of everything that's going. You know, you create the rhythm of and flow of the restaurant in its entirety.
Yes.
And
Yes, they
that
do.
being said, even down to when I worked in In-N-Out, down to when I worked at speakeasies, I worked at small like sports bars, large sports bars, Tom's Urban across the street from the Staples Center. When there is like a correction on the customer's behalf, and I'm not talking about a mistake on the server's behalf. I'm talking about correction or oversight on the customer's behalf, and they fix it, and you go back and you tell them they may be halfway through the dish. Sometimes they may be finished and they have to remake it. they get mad and they act like they're gonna kick your ass or something if you the fact that you're back there and like if you do it again. And I got to
the cooks, right?
I was like, yeah, the cooks, and I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen is as these things come up throughout the night, I'm gonna run it through on a ticket, and that's gonna be the signal or communication for you to make it. And if you don't do what's on that ticket, you're gonna jeopardize your job.
Ooh.
I'm good.
Ooh, on paper, CYA.
I'm good. Talk about documentation. Like, and the thing is, I work a job. Like, I'm like I said, a full time.
That's that bureaucratic shit right there.
Yeah, it's like, look, whatever's on the ticket, make it.
Do it.
And it's like, and I feel like so many cooks, they get to the point of like, oh no, what happened? Why are we running this through again? And this, it's like, look, there were circumstances that were out of my control. This ticket is providing like a middle ground for us to move forward between us and the customer. Okay, that's the ticket is the primary means of documentation between the establishment and the customer. It documents the transaction from start to finish. Like, and what is it? What does that accumulate to? A receipt. When you go to places, you get a receipt, and it lists an itemized receipt. It lists everything in the fucking order. That's what it comes down to. So, like I said, that's pet peeve number one. Let's see. Servers, when cooks kind of get bold and think that they don't have to cook shit, and it's like, no, you gotta cook this shit. Like, you want to cook.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that has this grievance. I'm not the only one.
You better cook the shit. Like, I didn't have that problem too much. It came and went, but not too much. Every now and then, they're like, I'll get like,
you know who you're talking about.
Like, see,
No. They were Mexican, so there's like it's like a certain. People in the industry, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. The Mexican cooks, the ones that don't speak that much English. You know what I'm talking about. You know what they do.
Yeah. And
the attitude.
Yeah. What gives me the reinforcement and confidence at the end of the day is the documentation. I'm like, I ran it through. You can run my numbers right now, and it matches what the customers say and all that. So next would be, I would say pushy bartenders.
I just love that number two. His problem was documentation with Mexican cooks.
Documentation.
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say because I know what he was trying to say. But I said Mexican cooks and he said documentation, and it was just a coincidence.
I couldn't move on to the next one. Nah, we're not gonna just let that go.
He didn't say it. I kind of like.
I just laid out things as they are.
It was just a pass and to whoever was gonna. And then coincidentally, he was right there, and he just ooped it by accident. Didn't realize it. He was trying to get the rebound, and just oh shit! All right,
nah.
He realized it.
Line cooks, get your documentation.
It's all right. I'm Mexican.
Check
I
your
allow
documents
that
before you come after your servers.
All documented. I'm documented. No, I'm documented. Like that. Like I have a social security number. And
so do I. What was the second one? What was the third one? Bartenders? Pushy bartenders?
Yeah.
Pushy bartenders.
Pushy bartenders.
What do you mean by that?
So they'll have a ticket or a few tickets, and they'll be just clearly overwhelmed, and they would project that onto you as a server. Like, run this. Like, for the most part, I do a good balance of trying to keep everything ran and stuff. And sometimes I think it's just a timing issue where I would get to the well at a certain time when they were overwhelmed with a certain amount of drinks.
Yeah.
And the bartender would just kind of, I could feel the heat coming off of him or her, most of the time him, like just like, yo, get this out my way, get this out my way or whatever, or just go ahead and run this. Let me see. It came and went. I didn't encounter that too much. I didn't encounter that from you. I give you your props on that.
Thanks.
But like every time that I've worked with you, you always just been like just very matter of fact. Like no matter how chaotic things are, like I'll come up to you, I'll be like, hey Paula, I need and I'll list like a bunch of, most of the time it was like rail based drinks that were just quick to make and stuff. Even if it was a complex cocktail, you'd be like, all right. Meantime, run this. Like it would come out a little bit. Like you'd be like, wait, hold up, okay.
I mean, that's a good way to do it.
Go ahead and run this, and then when you come back, I'll give you this,
yeah.
because what it incentivizes us servers to go and get shit done.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, if those tags don't belong to certain servers, they won't run them.
Oh,
absolutely. I don't roll like that. I don't roll like that.
Absolutely.
I run everybody's shit. I run everybody's
I
shit.
I hate
I
it.
would run the whole shit if the host had stuff. Like I run everybody's stuff. I'm fair. I'm you know, I look out for my employees because if I run, I think of it like this: it's an algorithm. If I run this shit faster, the faster it gets to the table, the faster more rounds get put in, the faster that drives up revenue. Blah 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 blah.
More they drink,
higher revenue, higher tips. You know, higher money amounts of money that we take home. So.
Money comes first.
Like even in those moments where it's like very some of the drinks are over fucking spilling and shit, and like the garnishes are starting to lapse, and you really see it, and it's just like fuck, like you know, collectively, cumulatively, the perception is on the server and the bartender, especially the server when I drop that off. So when I see a drink starting to lapse, I'm like, okay, let me run this shit because this is on all of us, and I don't want to have to run this back to restart a process that could have been avoided easily. So let me just do this right now.
If we would have dropped it off the first time, we wouldn't have that problem.
Servers run tickets. Just run them. Just run them. Just fucking run them.
Or run it. Run it. We should put that on.
Chris Brown is typing.
No, I think that part of that just also goes with being able to get along with your peers, because you'll see, especially with servers, especially when you're going into a bigger venue that has more servers, you're going to have more people who have a potential to not get along with each other, which is understandable. I get it. I'm definitely not the person to tell you to fake it with people that you don't like, because I've told coworkers like dead to their faces. And I've had coworkers say the same thing to me. I don't like you. There's no reason for us to talk about anything other than work. Yes. Let's be professional. Yes. Let's make this money. But outside of that, no hi, how are you? None of this shit. No, how's your day? Tell me what you need. I'll tell you what I need. I will make your shit correctly so that you make your money. You pay me the money you owe me at the end of the night. I'm good with all of that.
That's it.
So I'm good with working around all that. But that's me as a bartender having that separation. And I think a lot of that frustration that some of these bartenders will end up having is where you have these certain servers who don't get along with each other. And we don't know they don't get along or why they don't get along or whatever. But we'll know that one, like we all have been in that place where that one server who never runs their shit, they're always on their phone or doing something or in the back, whatever. So their drinks are always lapsing. And no one wants to run it because they're like, no, fuck that. Let the manager see it. It's like, oh, I'm not touching it. I'm not putting my hands on it. Let the manager see it because we need to start letting this motherfucker start getting ripped.
The manager's just going to come out and be like, I need hands.
Yeah.
Not going to give a fuck.
Doesn't see it that way.
Yeah,
they
don't
see that everyone left it.
Yeah. Why is this here?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Sitting there for 8 minutes. It's so stupid. Stop letting these... I'm one to talk, but stop letting these petty grudges and shit fuck up your money. I'm somebody that holds on to grudges. I'm petty as fuck, but I will not let that shit fuck up my money. I don't care. Same thing.
Not the money.
I could not like you, whatever, but when we're at work, I need you to do your fucking job. You can hate me all you want. I don't care. Do your job.
Keep that assembly line going.
Let's make money because, like we say before, you fuck up the money. Now we really
none of us making money.
Now we really have a fucking problem. Now we have an issue.
You fucking with my rent.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
Man. Now we got some issues, man.
Because you're basically taking food out of my mouth now.
You fucking with my child support payments?
Not the chest up.
Oh, my stuff out there. You fucking with my child support payments. You fucking with my child support payments.
Oh my god!
Man, you're right. You're absolutely right. We got to let that petty shit go. And
stop letting it fuck up the money, man.
If you're one of those servers that you don't want to run another server's drinks or run another server's food, I honestly do wonder why you're in this business, because we have to work together. I may have to run food or drinks to a table that I don't like. I might not like the guest. I still got to serve them. No. Like that's just how it is. We all have been in this business. If you've been in this business a week, you have had to serve someone that you did not want to serve anymore.
Gave me some thick ass skin, that shit. It got to the point where like motherfuckers will pull up in that drive-through, and I was outside and like on the handheld taking orders in the drive-through, so I would go rotate back and forth, 15 cars on each side. That car pulled
this was during lockdown shit?
No, not lockdown. Way back when I was
in and out.
Oh, in and out. Oh, okay.
And that car pull up, that window rolled down, and I just would think, all right, motherfucker, you or me? We gonna do this right? You gonna tell me what you want?
Have y'all seen that? Have y'all seen that video where it was
Yeah.
like the dude pulls up? He's like, he pulls up to the window. Is like, all right, it's gonna be this amount of money. And it's like, oh wait, what do you mean it's this amount of money? What do you mean? I might have wanted a shake. Nah, you don't never get a shake. You ain't got enough money for a shake. Stop fucking playing with me, man. I got cars behind you. Get your dumb ass up there. It's 12.72.
That's what it is.
Have it ready. Like,
That's the energy.
yeah.
I was a gangster on Handheld. Like, I would be outside with that little in and out fucking uniform on. My paper hat tilted to the side and shit. My paper hat tilted to the side.
Handheld.
Like, and these cars would pull up. I would move cones. I would be like,
Lanes closed. Just,
how are you
done.
today?
No more for you.
Man.
Like, In and Out is the opposite of Chick-fil-A, apparently.
It is. But
you just come in with nothing but the attitude and cones. Like, get your ass out of here.
And they had us say, like, right on all the time.
Right on.
Right on. Like, for example, hey, Malcolm, I have a 3 fry down and a 8 meat down on the back lane for this order.
What do you
and
mean
this
down?
is when I got trained down. So this is when I got trained to cook.
Down where?
On the grill.
Oh, okay.
Meaning, like, they took an order that had more than 6 meats. So, like, doubles, cheeseburgers, fries.
Yeah.
If you have an order that has 6 meat or more, you have to call it out. If it has 4 fries or more, you have to call it out. Because the thing is, we want them to have, obviously, a good amount of baskets to, like, cover that. So, I would be like, okay, 8 meat down, 4 fry down, back lane.
Wait, hold on. Pause real quick. How long ago did you work there?
I worked there all throughout high school and all throughout my college break. So last time was 2016, summer 2016.
That training was. That's what I was gonna say. That
never goes away.
That training is ingrained in you and shit, because you can still remember all of that shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, steps of service.
Wow.
And all that.
Oh shit.
I love it when people say that, service industry jobs are not real jobs, because here this person is 10 years later of working it day in, day out. Like, you're 8 years removed from the last time you did it, but really 10 years from being in that peak time of doing it all the time, doing it every summer, and you still can remember this and that. Shit, when we met each other 10 years ago, we can still remember what fucking Carla's looks like.
Yeah.
And about taking the mats out and that shitty POS system that was really... We were using Square / Toast.
It was basically
hybrid.
Square. No, it was Square.
It was Square.
It was
but
Square.
It was almost a Toast hybrid back then.
Yeah,
they were trying to copy.
It was like Square's business fucking thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But we can still remember it and how it looked. 10 years. It's like that shit don't go nowhere, man. That's trauma.
That's what it is.
Like service industry.
That's real trauma, right? That's
service
PTSD.
Industry, we have our own generational trauma.
We do.
But it stays with us.
It's like if you were to hear a burger hit the grill, you're just gonna start automatically your steps of service and everything just gonna start generating in your brain like what you got to do next.
Okay, it's ready. You got to pull it.
No, not yet.
And no, it continues. When it's on the other side. What do you mean? We only halfway.
That's right. He got 6 meats down.
Oh, 6.
And then that smoke in your eye and shit.
That's like the
Especially
bear.
when you go to the back and like check on stuff. You'd be like, and like when you're in the midst of like dealing with like customer BS or whatever, and you check on the order, that smoke from the grill can be the most confusing thing in the middle of your shift.
You just walk up to a customer.
Yeah, because you guys have fresh like onions and shit too, like chopped diced onions or whatever. You cut them there.
Prep. I would spend about. Let's see. When I first started, okay, so In-N-Out goes in levels. It's level 1 through 7. Level 7 is the assistant manager. Level 1 is a person who kind of, well, at least for guys, that's the other thing. The roles differentiate depending on your sex. So,
they really go full method with
level 1 males, level 1 and level 2 males. I was confined to a back room about the size of this living room space, and I had a barrel about yay high, and it was like circular, like a cylinder type thing. And I would load Yukon Gold potatoes into it to like de-skin them and stuff, and it would spin around and rinse them off, and then they would empty it out into another compartment, and I would chip out all the bad parts, and I would prep them to be diced like for fresh French fries. So I did that like at least half of my shift when I was level 1 and level 2. In-N-Out.
Wow.
Yeah. And then level 3 is when you finally get to start taking orders. That's level 3 is when you know all of the foundational ingredients, blah 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 blah.
Wow.
You get to get in front of a customer.
Man.
Like, yeah. So, like, it took me about 2 months to get to a level 3. Got to a level 3, took orders, did buckets. Level 4 is fries. Level 5 is the board bitch. We call it the board bitch.
The board
like,
bitch?
I was a badass board bitch. When you think about it,
So wait,
badass board
I
bitch.
was bad. Like,
what's
my
a
shit-
what's a
I
board
wish I had
bitch?
this hair back then too, huh?
What's a board bitch?
A board bitch. Okay, so you know how you go to every In-N-Out or every In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Look, okay, so there's a guy cooking on the grill.
Yeah.
Like they has like at least so the standard grill can take 4 rows.
Is it the person in the window?
No, it's the person on the grill. So the standard grill can take 4 rows of 8. So the person cooking is like 32 patties easily. And the person on the side of them is at any given time is wrapping 8 to 10 burgers at once. So as they're pulling, you have to prep the bottom portion of the burger depending on how the conditions turn up on the tag. So I would get animal style, SLO, no lettuce, onion only, spread only, all these unique conditions, light mustard instead of spread, blah 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 blah. And it's your as the board bitch, you run the entire shift because you have to call out all the fries.
So it's basically Expo.
Yes, it's Expo, but you're on board as well. You're wrapping the burgers and you're packaging them and you're calling out all the fries for each fucking order.
How much did you get paid?
When I first started In-N-Out, I think it was like 15, 16. And it was years ago, so it was good money for the time. Look,
Okay.
like this, I was a high school junior, bringing home $800 checks every 2 weeks, 800 to 1,000.
Back then, that's
yeah.
money.
And I had my own car. I had like,
Oh, yeah.
when I was in high school, Hollister was the shit. So I had like all the latest Hollister gear and shit. And I was just like this pimped out like little fucking band nerd that, and I'll show y'all my Letterman jacket in a little bit too. Like it's pimped the fuck out. But like, yeah, I was just like this pimped out kid that worked at In-N-Out and I was popular because of it. Like they gave me a boost. So
Okay.
yeah. And then, like, yeah.
But damn, that is a lot of shit. That's some god damn. I'm sorry to cut you off. I always had an idea that In-N-Out was like really intense and shit.
It is.
And just from what you see in the windows, you're like, damn, that's kind of hard. But okay, a couple of little bit of working here and there, you'll get it. But hearing it from somebody that worked there, I got a new level of respect for them. That's a lot of fucking. That is tough, man. God
The
damn.
thing is, you will have hours. Like we don't have an app or anything. Like when servers call out or anything, it's old school in the sense that your manager will call you and be like, "Oh, can you come and pick up a shift?" But I would get overtime regularly and stuff. And I have a few friends currently that I started with that are store managers. 2 of them have their own stores.
Nice.
Actually, yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, my store that I started at was store 30 in Torrance, right across the street from the hospital. And store 92 in Crossroads, Torrance. I have a friend that manages that store as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and In-N-Out managers. In-N-Out, they take so good care of their people. Like
I bet if they're.
Have you guys been to have you guys heard
You
of the
gotta go
In-N-Out
through all
picnics?
What?
No.
Oh my god! So In-N-Out has like this, and I know I'm just drawing this out, but I'm
No,
gonna
go
get to the
ahead.
point quick.
No, go ahead.
In-N-Out, they have these picnics that are for employees primarily, and you guys don't know this, but In-N-Out, we got chili dogs. We got a special chili dog catered towards In-N-Out, and it's the founder's recipe. The founders, I think it's one of the grandmas or aunts that founded the company. It's her recipe for chili dogs, and these chili dogs are only available at the In-N-Out picnics. So every year that I worked there, I took my mom one year. You can only bring one guest. So what they would do is they would close down one water park, and it was Raging Waters one time. It was Soak City one time, and it was at I think that Six Flags Hurricane Harbor another time. They closed down the entire park for In-N-Out employees all throughout the region, and they of course pull up a truck and they give us unlimited In-N-Out. Just imagine just being thrown and fed doubles and cheeseburgers all day.
That doesn't sound
And
too bad.
fries and like these chili dogs, they're about yay big, and it's the equivalent in terms of taste. I don't know if you guys like In-N-Out burger or are keen on the taste.
I fuck with In-N-Out.
but
I love In-N-Out.
It's the chili dog or hot dog equivalent in terms of freshness, in terms of quality of ingredients, and just overall taste. It's like an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
It's that, but in a chili dog. And it's like, why haven't you guys put this shit on the fucking menu? And like, they're like, nope, it's for associates only. That's what they say every time.
You know what? I kind of fuck with that.
Yeah.
Like you keeping it like it's only within the
I
family
literally had
type of
6
type
of
of thing.
them at my last
Shit,
picnic.
with that much exclusivity,
At
fuck
my
yeah.
last picnic, I had 6 of these fucking chili dogs, and it was just like, yo.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, look at me just like going in about the dogs.
No, I mean
About
that's
sausages. Fucking getting excited about fucking.
that's
talking about
I didn't
fucking
that's something I didn't know, and now
Sorry.
hopefully through this podcast we can get those chili dogs in one way or another.
one way.
If you know someone,
It's gonna fucking happen.
You know someone that
It's
works
gonna
at
happen.
In-N-Out, please.
No, it's gonna
befriend
fucking
them
happen.
And go to one of the company pages.
I want that.
because
I don't care if it's good or not.
around
I just want it because of the
and your lives
exclusivity.
will
I'll
be
be
changed.
honest, I'm not even like an In-N-Out fan, but I have not had In-N-Out in Cali. That's the difference.
Where was the last state you had it?
No, I've only had it in Arizona, in Phoenix.
Okay.
That's what
I haven't had it since I've been here either.
That's what I'm saying.
What?
So that's why I never like I won't.
Yeah.
When's the last time you had it?
Arizona,
Arizona?
Phoenix, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yo.
And everyone told us, especially because Phoenix has so many people who couldn't cut it in California, and they are like, oh well, if you want the real In-N-Out, you got to go to California. And I'm like, no,
Right.
if you want the real In-N-Out, you should go back to California, because why the fuck are you in Phoenix? Because that's when I lived in Phoenix. It's this whole thing.
What part of Phoenix?
I've lived all over Phoenix, all over Phoenix, like all the subdivisions. I've lived in all of them. I've been everywhere. Like Phoenix knows me heavy, but at the same time, In-N-Out was a California thing.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when they opened the first one in Phoenix, I was like, I already knew I wasn't gonna like it because I knew it wasn't gonna be as good as whatever is supposed to be out here. So then when I had it in Phoenix, I was like, this is trash. So
I liked it.
I
but
got it.
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, based on what I was hyped up for it to be, I was like, no. But obviously, it's not going to be that because it's not the original, or at least it's not as close to the original source.
It's you're getting further and further away. It's like if I tell you a story, you and the 10th person in here, it's going to be a completely different story. It's completely different.
And that's why I don't like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in North Carolina where Chick-fil-A was created.
Yeah.
I grew up on Chick-fil-A. Their
Really?
sandwiches were twice as big as they are now. And they tasted twice as good. And their fries were always fire. And all they had was like the honey mustard and barbecue and the Chick-fil-A sauce back then. Like, I grew up on Chick-fil-A. So when they opened the first one in Phoenix, I was like, it's not going to be as good. And I tried it, and it wasn't as good. And I've tried a couple here in LA, and it's not good. So people that love Chick-fil-A,
You had the one downtown.
I'm like,
by
yes.
the 7th and okay.
We live by that. We live by it. You
y'all
know,
right there.
I've had it.
that's the second one I've
The
had.
next block over.
I
That's
had
all right.
one other one. I don't remember where, but I had one other one, maybe like in Gardena or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was alright. The one over here downtown, trash, booty,
Yeah.
big.
Their mac and cheese is
Booty!
their mac and cheese
Booty.
is bad.
Big trash.
And
It's,
cheese is
it's
bad.
just big trash, and it's not their fault. They have to produce it at such a level.
They do
and they
high
don't
volume.
have no robots. So the people who order from that Chick-fil-A are the ones who make it so trash. You order so much of it, they can't make it as good as they want to make it, which is why I don't like it, because you're not making it as good as I remember. Yes, I'm a get off my lawn guy when it comes to Chick-fil-A. Like, I remember how good it used to be, and it's not like that out here. And I imagine In-N-Out is the same way, because I just saw this post a couple weeks ago. Sorry, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
But they opened the first In-N-Out in like Idaho or some shit.
Ohio.
And Ohio.
I think it was
And
Ohio.
the line was just massively insane. And I'm like, all I could think about.
They actually knew
were the
how
employees.
they knew how big it was going to be, so they had like a four lane.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. But no matter how much you prepare for it, the people who are working there are not going to be prepared for what comes for them.
Oh God, no.
And they're not going to be prepared for the sustainability of it, because it will never be as big as it was the first night that it opened, but it's not going to be that small, because I lived in Pacific Northwest, which is right next to Ohio, and that's how Chick-fil-A is out there. To where anywhere there is a Chick-fil-A, it is so inconvenient. The line is so long as far as the cars that you just don't go near where a Chick-fil-A is in Seattle.
There's
Because
traffic.
If you go anywhere near it, you're running into traffic no matter what. Come on, man. Your product's not that good when you're doing it like that.
That was like when they opened a White Castle in fucking Phoenix. When they opened a White Castle in Phoenix, and then the other restaurant that we're not gonna name, people were just so hyped about it. I'm like, it's White, it's White Castle. Like, I know what it's like, and I understand.
Sliders is good.
But I understand why other people who haven't had it and have only had the frozen versions are like excited about it. I'm like, I get it. But also it's like when you guys get in and eat it, you're gonna be like, okay, this is good, but this wasn't worth waiting 2 hours. Right. I'd wait 10, 15 minutes for it, but not 2 hours. And their wait times at that In-N-Out in Ohio or whatever, 8-hour wait time. Yeah. That's a whole shift. Could you imagine being the Uber Eats, Lyft driver, whatever, that has to go to that fucking place and spend your entire fucking day?
I mean, the tip on that one.
Oh, the tip on that better be
at that In-N-Out never did Uber Eats for that reason, and I feel like they did it because they peeped the game. And they don't want all that chaos. I mean, it's already chaotic.
I can't imagine someone spending a whole shift making In-N-Out burgers, and they're like,
"Yeah,
this is being handed down to my descendants. I'm making a burger that my shift won't even be still going on by the time the burger gets eaten."
Like I was the highest level I got to was a level 5, and that's the person that wraps the burgers and that calls out all the fries for each order. So I will say that was.
That's insane.
So look, I worked at mind you, I didn't work in the dining room where it's like order by order because you know where it's going. It's going to the counter or the drive-through. I worked at a 2-lane that had 2 sides plus an indoor counter. So I'll be like 4 fry to go, back lane, 6 fry to go, back lane, 2 fry to go, back lane, blah 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 blah. Can I get 1 over for animal? 3 in a white. Can I get 4 over in a red for animal for the front lane? It's like you're like
I'm imagining being being at the register just trying to order and hearing the thing is
like I was on board doing all of this. So you have like the board person next to the grill person, you have the register person, and then it would be 2 people on the front lane, back lane, and then people on the side doing prep and stuff. So for the most part, when I was a level 5, I was on board. I was right there in the center of it, calling out all this shit. So people have to listen to my voice in this tone for most of the shift, especially the fry person or the window people. So, yeah.
Sorry, I just realized I wore the wrong shirt. I should have wore my Randy Watson shirt because the whole time he's been talking, I'm just thinking about Louis Anderson. During that scene in Coming to America, he's like, "Yeah, well now I wash lettuce, and in a couple of years I'll be on fries." That's where the big money rolls in.
Fries, the level 4 to the level 4.
So the time I was here now, just seeing Louis, man.
So I was the level 4s, yeah, level 4. Shout out to y'all level 4s out there. You guys do a lot of hard work. Well, as we're going down the list. You said bartenders. So what's next after bartenders? I know.
I said the host.
That was the biggest sidebar.
Okay, the host.
Host?
The host. We got some shit to talk about these hosts because the host.
Let's talk about these hosts.
Host.
Host
or host. The same.
I mean, depends on the venue.
I feel like every venue has a host that stop. Hear the bell.
It depends on the venue.
No, that was a stray shot. That was a stray.
I've worked in some places.
Mute him.
I've worked in some places where the hosts
mute him.
They might as well just been standing on the corner seating tables.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a stray.
You don't have to run through every one of the bussers.
Right.
I'm sorry. You can run through 1 or 2. Then move on to the servers and move on to the bartenders or maybe move on to the line cooks. But you don't have to fuck all the bussers just because they're the ones you hang out with when you first start working there.
Right.
Level up, girls.
Right.
Level up.
I feel like every...
Man, just strays.
You said it.
Strays.
Every establishment has these types of hosts.
Yeah.
So you have the ditzy one who's very good looking, who's very attractive, who attracts all of, just male attention in general. Because she's bad as fuck. She's young, she's ditzy, she's naive, she's malleable. She is ditzy in a sense where it's to a fault,
It's
it
aloof.
really is to a fault. It's aloof.
You can just sit around
and it starts
just
to kind of fuck
to
up your flow
Yeah.
at any given point because she'll either kind of just let either let people just walk in and just kind of do whatever they want
or
and just sit
quadruple
wherever
seat you
or quadruple seat you
for no reason.
or just kind of random. I don't know if you guys have had this at your establishment, but just walk away from her post and ask you stupid ass questions that she was asked and she was trained on in training, and it's like, damn.
Yeah, because you know the answer, so she should definitely know the fucking answer.
And I've been working with you. I'm not gonna name any hosts, but I'm just gonna say that there were more times than needed that I saw you greeting guests at the bar from the bar. You greeting guests from the bar and telling them where they can sit. So that just goes to show how that was going for some of these hosts. Yeah, and it's like, God, you really just let that. It's like, what are you doing, yo? Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of times you look up and you see the hosts standing by the bar or in the back. Why are you back there? You're not polishing any glasses. Next to a table, upstairs, downstairs, all around the town stairs, whatever. But they're everywhere except for the host stand.
Right.
Oh, there's nobody waiting in line. And then when they go back,
by the time they get back, there's 17 people waiting. Upset
Which
at
leads
you.
me to my next host. There's also the host that is the micromanager host. They come and tell you, at least as a server, I've experienced this, and you most likely have as well, I'm sure. They come and tell you when to have a table ready, and they throw it out there like this, like they're your coach, and you're just expected to just conjure up a table that's ready in X amount of minutes. You know,
well, that was,
and it's like, that's not how this works. There's still people there eating.
Yeah,
I have to clear that. There's a process to this. They get so overwhelmed by the crowd, and they are just kind of saying yes.
They can't stand their ground.
They can't stand their ground.
That happened a lot at that fucking place where there was like a timer and shit on tables, which of course, right? Like a 2-hour limit, whatever, this and that. But they showed up late. But you as the host let them sit when they were 30 minutes late,
right?
Instead of, doing what you had to do, because if they were sitting down 30 minutes late, but that table is supposed to come up for somebody else in 45 minutes.
Could we safely all come to a point of agreement into where we have deemed not the stereotypical host or a stereotypical experience when dealing with hosts is like they're the ditzy secretary of the firm.
I've worked with some that like are really good at what they do.
Yeah.
And those shifts were always amazing. Like they're very rare. But like the hosts that are like, nah, I got my shit down packed. If you're late, whatever, you don't call, that's it. I don't give a fuck. But they have their shit down packed. Like they're playing fucking Tetris. Here, line. Here, line. So there are a few that are on their shit, but for the most part, a lot of them are just, well, I'm just here just to be here, and this job is pretty easy. Come to me, tell me you want a table. Okay, I'll go find you a table. Oh, there's an open table. 10 minutes later, yeah, we have a reservation at that table. Oh, okay, 1 minute.
Yeah, let me scramble to.
Hey, so I just sat them, but the reservation's here. You think you can like try to move them? I've got 5 tickets. What the fuck are you talking about? Go talk to a manager. Get the fuck out of my face.
I love how that was your host stance. Like, let me get as small as possible.
Yeah, let me. Yeah. Because they gotta be like really like small and like. Let me just.
Hey, can you look at my titties while I talk to you and ask you to do the thing that I need you to do
right here?
But I can't because my face is down here looking at these fucking tickets. I just hear your fucking voice. What do you? No, get away from me.
It's titties or tickets. Only one of them is gonna make me money, so I'm going to the tickets. I'm sorry, host. I don't know you that well. I'm not a busser. You're not that important to me.
You're not a busser.
To the money,
You're not that important to me. Go talk to one of the bussers to see if they can get one of your tables ready. Why are you talking to the bartender? I don't even know your name. You've been here 2 weeks. Why are you asking me questions? I do feel that part of it is what you said, like what you alluded to, where hosts do kind of come off as like the boss's secretary, because who do the hosts talk to the most other than the bussers? They talk to management. Management is always there. They want to know what the tables are looking like. What are the times looking like?
What's the covers, all that shit.
So then you have a host who is directly in line with management, and they think, oh, my job is being viewed as it is because I'm always talking to the manager, so everyone else is going to view me the same way. It's like, no, the rest of us do not know who the fuck you are, and a lot of times you are fucking up our jobs because you don't know who we are, or you're not paying attention to your seating chart, or you're not paying attention to your timetable of, oh, I just sat, like you just said, I just sat this table. Well, maybe I need to move another table, or maybe I should check before I extend, or check before I move, or anything. You are being aloof. You're flying by the seat of your fucking tight dress.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to figure some shit out and just look cute in the fucking process. I'm not knocking you. Do what you got to do. And a lot of times you are being set up in that position to where people don't train you properly, because half the people there are more just, oh, we have this cute, adorable, high energy, whatever person. We want to keep them around. We've had 6 different hosts in the last 6 months. We want to keep one around for a while, so then they elevate your status and this and that. They don't set you up for success, but really it's on you to really like pay attention to the framework of the place that you're in. If you don't know your bartenders, that's a problem. If you don't know your servers
you should.
That's a problem.
You should know.
You are directly affecting them, and if you are directly affecting them, they're talking about you. So if you're doing something wrong, and especially when you don't do it on purpose, if those people don't know you that well and they're talking shit about you, it's all going to be negative, as opposed to talking shit about you just jokingly, like, such and such double sat me, quadruple sat me. They'd be like, yo, what were you doing? You fucked up, like joking around.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't get to know the people that you're interacting with, that you're directly affecting them, their money, their energy for the night, then they're just gonna be like, well, I don't fucking like that host, and fuck that host, and next thing you know, you got a problem.
That's why they don't get tipped out. That's why these motherfuckers don't get tipped out at the end of the day.
Because if they did, they'd get preferential tips.
Oh, funny story.
And think that they're doing the job correctly.
At Tom's, the host started a petition to get tipped out. It was the cutest thing ever.
That's cute.
That's adorable. Cutest little thing.
Started a petition to get tipped out.
They actually had it typed up, and it was on a clipboard, and it had like little spaces for me to sign, for various people to sign or whatever. I think it was like space for like 20 signatures.
Yeah, you know how they had all the time to do that?
And it was like a small like little paragraph.
They had all the time to type that up because they were sitting at the fucking host stand.
Hosts are the first line of defense, so you can either make or break shift for most of the restaurant. No, it's just a job, but just be good at it. Don't be excellent, amazing. Don't go above and beyond the Call of Duty, but just be good at what you do.
Yeah.
Fucking be good at it. You don't have to be the best in the nation.
Yeah.
Be good. Be good.
And bartenders, stop trying to fuck all the hosts. Help them out first.
Yeah.
All right. Just because they're the hot new thing there, instead of trying to sleep with them, how about you try to help them do their jobs correctly?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can't just come for the hosts. We gotta come for you too.
You
bussers.
You said we
I can't even come for the bussers. I can't come for the bussers because they don't know what the fuck they're doing either.
They don't. They don't. A lot of them are. They're just there.
Yeah.
They're just there to make some money and, all right, I got to clean this. Oh, this cute girl's talking to me. Okay.
See, that's why I like being a server, because I just feel like I'm the middleman, and I'm like, okay, what do you need? What do you need?
Servers definitely are.
I'm in and I'm out.
Yeah.
That's it. Like no strings attached.
Definitely.
I feel like I've done a good job at every establishment that I've been at just being very like, and I'm going to use this word intentionally, platonic.
I've not been platonic.
Platonic with all of my coworkers, and just being like, yo, what's up? What do you need? You know, being a wholesome, down to earth person. Well, was I a good coworker at establishment?
Yeah, you were.
Came and went. I felt like I was.
No, you were. Honestly, you were probably the only one where.
Yeah.
Didn't have any issues with. It was always smooth sailing. Yep. I never had to worry because I felt like we both felt the same way about the establishment. It's like, let's get here, make some money, and let's get people the fuck out as soon as we can.
You were literally the only bartender that I felt did not
give a fuck,
project.
No.
I feel like that's because of the fact you didn't project your emotions onto anything. I'll come up to you, and no matter how chaotic it was, you'd be like, all right, man, cool. All right, Malcom. You'd be like, Malcom. I'm like, huh? Come here. I'll come over. Here, run this real quick. I'm gonna give you another vodka soda to go with that, and just come back for the other one. All right, and I go and I come back. You have it, and you be like, all right, thanks. Yeah, like you were just very like just matter of fact in that sense, and I felt like when I would fuck stuff up, I would come to you just because I knew
I know.
You wouldn't.
I know. I wouldn't.
Like, yeah, you wouldn't care.
Yeah, it's like all right,
if it was
cool.
anybody else, they'd be like, oh no, they would like run it through again, and like no, with you, you'd just be like, what do you need? And you would just make it on the fly.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
fuck
on the
it.
fucking fly.
It's too fucking busy. Don't get it just here.
Yeah,
Get out of here. Go do it.
And I even remember like several nights that we worked together. I was a closing server, you were the closing bartender, and we had that spot like the place closes at 1, and we had it like closed at 1.
Yeah,
like no, we were supposed to shut our doors to begin closing at 1, and like I remember that several times. That
people come in like 12:55.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
ice is already burnt.
I'm
just waiting for these last 2 people to leave.
Yeah,
I remember one time we walked out of there at like 1:15, 1:20.
Yeah,
like just. I was like, oh shit. And he was like, all right, I'll see you next
Yeah,
time.
we didn't play about the close. It's like we close at 1. All right, we're out of there because after that it's like, well, it's hourly, but also like that's not enough anyway.
Right,
so let's just get the fuck out of there.
I think that's a whole nother conversation itself, the breakdown of each restaurant, because as you all both know very well, each restaurant has its own breakdown, duration, and process, and blah, 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 blah. So that being said, it's kind of like that's just what it comes down to. Actually, the last hour or so of service is gonna depend on how smoothly it goes, depending on how well you're prepped, how well what you got for the next day and stuff. Because I remember at our recent establishment that shall remain nameless, we would have to stay, or bartenders at least would have to stay for extended period of times and do like prep for the next day and shit. Service we didn't have to do that. We just do like roll-ups and shit. Like
fuck that.
Wait, prep
like was we had like fresh squeezed juices and stuff, and I remember sometimes like y'all would be on the clock.
Oh, you're talking about our place? No.
Yeah.
That was the next day's shift.
Yeah.
I never had to do that.
Okay.
I never had to stay later to do prep for the next day.
Or if you did, you never knew about it.
I never had to do that shit. Anytime the days that I worked, it was like the hour that I went in my scheduled time set up, and then because it was slow, I had at least 2 free hours. That's when I did all my juice prep because nobody would ever make it during the weekend, so I had to do my own for the next day or 2. So I never had. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so glad I only worked there like 1 or 2 days. Oh my god.
This motherfucker said my office hours are from 9 to 5.
Prep after the.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna prepare to find a new job.
Staying prepped.
Nah, I will prepare to find a new job.
Prepped.
Fuck that.
I'll give you that
I'm
one.
not staying here.
Staying prepped.
Fuck that. Any place
Staying
that makes
prepped.
you do
Staying
that
prepped.
much prep.
Yeah.
Nah.
At our expense, at our mental.
That's
expense,
insane. I could no. That's
expense.
oh. You know what really had me though? It wasn't the cooking dry spices to make a fucking homemade cider. It wasn't the making homemade meringue. It wasn't fucking using a what is it called? A super bag, soup bag, where you fucking it's like you put shit in there and you squeeze whatever.
Like you're like putting icing on a cake or some stuff.
No, not that one. It's like when we made like the pistachio shit. You had to put the shit through like a mesh bag and squeeze it so you don't get the pistachio like things. You just get the juice. We had like our own pistachio fucking orgeat. It wasn't that. It was having the fucking cookie cutter, this rice paper fucking little shit of Rudolph. That shit.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
That shit. We had to like get a razor blade and a cookie cutter tracer or whatever. And they weren't perfectly flushed. Like the pictures weren't like, oh, you get a stack of 10. Boom, boom, boom. No, they were like off-centered, off to the left. So you couldn't just bam, bam, bam. Each fucking page.
Joining any reindeer games. Yeah, it was a circular little. Yeah, I remember that. No, we would have to stay after. As servers, even we have to cut those as well. Yeah.
Wow.
That was.
I remember that.
The name of that drink, but it was.
I don't either.
It was very popular.
It was because of that fucking little rice paper fucking thing.
That
oh my god, bro!
Just made it so much more, appealing and sought after. Because they got to a point where bitches was coming in and be like, I want that one. And they'll pull up some shit on their phone.
I want the reindeer.
Yeah. They're like, I want that
Well,
one.
do you want the reindeer glass or the which one? Yes. Yeah, I just want the reindeer. Okay. Where's the picture? I asked you a fucking question and you didn't answer it.
Yeah, the more I hear about this place, the happier I am that I never worked at it.
And then we got in trouble because the Santa fucking mugs were getting stolen. Like, why aren't you guys busting? I was like, because every time I try to go, they're still not done with it, and I'm tired of bothering them because I'm disrupting their.
Why would you put out a mug that you're not willing to
that
pay
you know was going to get
for 4
stolen
times the amount because people are going to steal it? If you have a nice mug or a nice glass, someone's going to steal it. I have mugs and glasses at home right now that either I stole or someone stole for me.
Stop.
Dead ass.
Stop.
Like, I'm not. Yo, that's a nice mug you got there, Playboy. Let me
One
get
thing
that.
they tried doing was to incentivize people to return them in an orderly fashion.
Nope.
Was we would take card, like a pre-out the card or some shit. That helped actually a lot.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
If you don't bring it back, they'll actually
around the time of
they charge you for
To
it.
be fair, it did feel like this exclusive pop-up event.
It did.
So people that I felt helped socialize people a little bit more, and it helped herd their behavior and psychologically and physically, obviously. And I felt like they were just there was that expectation like, yo, you got to return this. Like, so in places like that, at least from what I've seen with tables, especially when they order a lot of the specialty drinks with a lot of the custom mugs, I noticed they would just be a little bit more well behaved the higher their tab. Like, yeah, we had a few of those high rollers come through and they wanted the full Christmas experience. They would get the shot ski, they would get the boot, they would get like, you know what I'm saying? They would get a bunch of appetizers and stuff. So customers like that, at least we could count on, everything being returned and working.
I hated the fucking shot ski too.
Yeah, the shot ski was the worst.
I got a shot ski.
And like bitches would ask for different shots. They're like, "Can I get like a
no, you get this one or this one.
Can I get whiskey and mines? What do you want in yours?
Can I get mezcal?
What do you want in yours? Yeah, she wants
I've never
vodka.
done a shot
Can you do
ski.
like Grey Goose in hers? So like 4 different shot requests.
No, you get this
Like,
one or this one.
One of them chilled. One of them, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
all
a lot.
chilled.
I'm like,
Getting a shot ski while you have to fucking run food.
yeah.
Oh, we're still waiting for
That
God
was the
fucking.
worst. That was the worst. But on the flip side, I'm gonna give it its
remembering
credit. I
more.
think the cheapest shot ski for 2 people was $25.
That's
25,
not
yeah.
bad.
So it was up there. At least the shot ski was 40 for.
For
4 people was like going on like 40.
Did I ever tell you what this was? It's a fucking ski, like skiing, what the fuck they call them? Is it a ski?
That is a ski. Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of zoned out because I was like, what do you mean?
it's a singular ski and it's got these slots in there. You
Yeah.
can put 5 shots?
Yeah,
4 shots?
it's a shot ski.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's not it. There's also this fucking big ass sweater. That's one singular sweater that has like 5 or 6 holes so everybody can wear one big sweater. So you have to get everybody to put that on first. While you're holding that, then you gotta pour the fucking things out. And then when people are gonna go to drink them, some people are shorter than others, so you gotta.
Yeah.
And then not to mention, like they all want to do it outside too. You can't do it inside because
And they
it's
want
really small.
photos.
And it's
or
by the
video.
fucking fire, so you have to
Yo.
make sure they don't catch on fire.
Yeah.
I will
Bro.
be.
Oh
I,
my
I will be
God.
straight up about it. I don't blame the guest when it comes to those situations because when you give guests those kinds of options, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
Of course, can't blame them.
And a lot of times, even on this show, a lot of times we will kind of rag on the guests or whatever. But really, you got to start ragging on the establishment.
It's there for a reason.
Why would you put that kind of thing out? Why would you give them that, even if someone asks for it?
Considering how many shot skis I would sell towards the end of the night, especially, it just went. It was so exponential in terms of sales. Easily within a few minutes, I could rack up a few $100s worth of profits just from shot skis.
Right.
And that,
Right.
obviously outweighs like what $20 you're spending on this alcohol. You're making like 100 times profit margin, and so I get that. Like
I get the impetus of wanting to get your sales up as high as possible and doing something that's novelty like a shot ski. That part I get.
You got to a
What
point
I'm
where
talking about,
bartenders would just hand us
I'm
the
talking about
ticket.
the sweater part.
The sweater part, yeah.
That's where you got my attention. I've seen shot skis all over the place. What was it called? Twin Peaks.
I've never been, but I heard
Okay,
it.
yeah, they had their own shot ski. I think they still have it. I don't even know if Twin Peaks is still a thing, but they had a shot ski, and it was just that they lined the shot ski up. However many people it was, they had a ski for it, and they lined up the shot, and everyone had to do it together, hands behind their back, whatever. And the servers would help you do it. Like, that's one thing. Yeah, it's a little time consuming, but it is pageantry behind it. It is a thing that puts you in front of everyone. I understand the want for that, but
It's
when it
fun,
comes to
it's cool.
putting on a sweater, doing this other stuff, trying to take a shot, they have to go outside, so someone has to go with them, and you want photos.
Busy as
I'm
fuck.
saying, if you're gonna do it that way, you have to set it up the right way. I understand the sales, and you're right. Why wouldn't you do it if you can rack up hundreds of dollars of sales in a matter of 20-30 minutes? But if it slows down your whole production because you're not doing it the right way, then you are only thinking about the money that you're getting, and you're not thinking about your employees. Because where I work right now, we sell a not a shot ski, obviously, but a flight. But during the week, no one cares if we sell it. Like, we don't care. Like, the speed is a little lower. But on a Friday, Saturday night at 11:30, 12 o'clock, and it's super busy, you don't want to be putting together a flight because it doesn't make any sense, because the people who are taking a flight at 11:30, 12 o'clock, they're thinking it's 4 shots for this amount. They're being frugal. Yeah. And I'm not knocking them for it. But here's the problem. We have to present it the same way on Tuesday as we do on Saturday. It still takes the same amount of time, which is not fast. And then when we present it to someone, we're supposed to give them a whole thing and give them a spiel and all of that. And then the moment we turn around to charge their card, they've knocked back all 4 shots. They don't give a fuck. It's not a flight anymore. It was just 4 shots, when really it's 4 separate expressions that you're supposed to savor the expressions.
4 separate expressions.
Yeah. It's not just 4 shots, but because people see flights and shots and skis and all this other stuff, they think that's what it is. So I'm putting the onus on the businesses. Don't just jump behind these things and price them a certain way and say, oh, we can make money off of it. Think about your employees and think about how you're slowing down your service for everyone else. Maybe if you don't want to put the effort into setting up a flight or a shot ski or whatever, if you want to say, oh, we can do sweaters, hey, we can do sweaters during these times because we're set up for it. We have the staff, we have this, we have that. If a business did that, I'm all for it. But how many times do they do that, man?
Granted, during books were full.
Yeah.
Didn't do it on this Tuesday. Had 250.
I get it. Like, we're all here to make money. We need to make money in order for these businesses to stay open. Like, I get all of that. I'm just saying, take care of your employees, and then you're not, not to be mean, but you take care of your employees, you'd still be here and now, and not now and later.
I love those candies. Those now laters. Now and later. You're capturing so much. Just now.
How much time we got left?
We should wrap it up in the next 10 to 15.
Okay.
Yeah. Was there anything you wanted to bring up on the show? Because honestly, for everyone else out there, like, Malcom actually does watch the show, and he's talked to both of us separately about separate things that he's seen and noticed.
I was one of the biggest fans. I came across it. Met Paulo at Here and Now. Started following him, and randomly, you just showed up on my timeline, and was just like, I was like, wait, hold up. And I actually seen you before I met you in person. I seen the show somewhere on, like, it just showed up in my, like, news feed, And I was like, these guys are like just venting about, you know, like
Remember
what
that.
it's like to work in the industry and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I remember, there's always some shit over here.
Oh shit! Somebody getting jumped. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
There's always some shit over here.
So we're live here in downtown Los Angeles. Somebody is about to get jumped. Somebody got robbed or jumped. And they're running. He's talking
That
shit.
nigga running.
He was just running though, but now he went across the
He's
street. Now he's
still
talking shit.
Oh, he hit that corner though.
I don't know, man. You can't be running.
He's in the middle of the street looking like.
Damn, they were on his ass.
Wait, is this car? Is this car?
Oh shit.
This car is associated with him.
Oh yeah. So it looks like.
Getaway car.
So we've got two suspects on foot chasing another individual. They are now getting into the getaway car. The suspects are going into the car. The other man has now
here's the
ran from
problem. He forgot that that's a 2-lane road.
Yeah, he did.
That's a 2-lane road.
No, that's a one-way.
No, that's a 2-way. It's about to be a 1-way. No, that's a 2-way. I walked across that street. This is a 1-way. He went down that road.
That
where
one,
I'm-
yes.
That's a
Yeah.
2-way.
That's a two-way.
He thinks he good.
Oh no.
My boy just backed up to pick up his boys. They going over there. They not playing around with him.
Yeah, I don't know what it
Yeah.
is, but
Could get him.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it. I heard them from over there. I don't know if they robbed him, who, what, but
Yeah.
he ran off.
He ran off with confidence.
Shit.
So to bring that to the industry, that's some shit that happens. People will just start talking shit. What's up,
Yo,
fool?
to,
What's up,
to
fool?
bring it to the industry, how many times have you been in a shift? The next thing you know, he'll boop, 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 and you're just like, yo,
Like,
what the fuck?
Like this was literally just said the other day. Like, there's a difference between people like just arguing and then like fighting noise.
Right.
There's like a distinct. You can tell when people are like fighting, and then it's just like people
They was ready to scrap. They were
just
They
talking.
was moving. They was
There's
ready to-
different. There's different types. Like that right there, we all kind of just thought like, oh no, they're about to fight.
Yeah.
That was fight noise. That wasn't just like, oh
I just wanted to see it because I'm off the clock.
yeah. I was like,
Like, it's not my venue.
I didn't want to see somebody get stomped out, but
I did.
it would have been crazy to see it right here.
I wanted to see
I
someone
would've
get
pulled the
stomped
fucking
out.
camera.
It's not my venue. I don't have to file an incident report.
Oh,
I just get to watch
God
this
damn.
shit.
This is going to be a hell of a clip. And the best part is at the end of the show, so they got to wait to the very end to see this shit and what just happened. Thank you, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
LA's gonna LA whenever
Oh,
it can.
God, that is great.
What the fuck were we talking about before that?
I've seen like several couple arguments here. I've seen one fight, and like I said, when I first, 3 weeks into me being here, I took my speaker and I put it in the window, and I had like 15 people right here dancing. They were waiting in line for something at the theater next door. But
Yeah.
this is a
Which
poppin' street. You
is
know?
actually having a podcast there pretty soon.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
So, sir, we gotta
We need to
step
get
up.
on that. I forgot what we were talking about prior to that scuffle.
No, we were just before we were interrupted. We were just talking about just any closing points or anything I wanted to add to the show.
Oh yeah. Was there anything
Yes.
that like anything?
You said you came across our podcast.
Yes, I came across the podcast beforehand, before meeting you. Actually,
I remember that day.
Then I remember you were staging, and I was like, I took my phone out. I was like, that's him. And I was like, wait, hold up, that's him. That's him. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. That's him. I ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah. He on that
Oh,
podcast. I ain't gonna say
man.
nothing.
Yeah, you actually did
And
the
then,
same
like-
thing to me too.
Yeah.
The,
I'm like,
f-
yeah,
the
'cause
first
I
time I
seen
met
you
Malcolm,
yes.
he came up
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, so just so you know, I know your brother and I follow your podcast." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, so you know my brother and that's why you
Yeah.
follow the podcast?" And he was
Yeah.
like, "Nah, I met your brother, but I had also already been following the podcast, like,
Yes.
and put two and two together,
Yes.
and now I met you
Yes.
here." And I was like, "Oh man, that's what's up."
To be honest, guys, this is like you guys are like these like celebrities that like I know. Well, like no, real talk. I knew of at least y'all know of me. Y'all know who the hell I was until I came up to y'all and was like blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
Malcolm, whatever. But however that was perceived, I apologize. But I had watched a number of episodes, enough to get a sense of like the general theme of the show and stuff, and really get a feel for it. And I really did. I dig it, and I was like, yo, like I can't wait till I'm on one of these. Like, you know, but
and little did you know you'd be at home
Right,
in your
right,
own, in
so,
your robe,
like-
in your work uniform.
in my work uniform. Disclaimer. And it just happened within the span of like some months of like
Well,
talking
no,
about it.
it's
talking
really
about it,
just
but
been the last couple weeks.
the last couple.
Last couple weeks, we've been talking about it for a few months, but like
Mm-hmm.
it was holiday season, and for everyone out there that knows, like holiday season, you can't schedule shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then once we got on the back end of it, we were like, oh, when can we put this together? And we threw some dates out there, and we had some other guests. Shout out to Jaloid. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to EJ. Shout out to Mark. You know, you got like all of y'all just have fucking killed it the last couple weeks, and we really appreciate having you on. And you as well, Malcolm.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for coming to my.
And thank you for
I know
bringing
I was
us.
like pulling y'all over here and stuff, and like, but I really wanted you guys to just have a good.
No, I mean,
have a good downtown LA backdrop.
Look at that
you know,
impromptu
the fucking
moment we just
exactly
had.
Like,
that
and
experience.
I knew you guys would appreciate it.
It was just
So,
funny because we've been waiting. We, as in you as well, we've all been like, well, what's going to be the downtown moment during this episode?
Yeah.
And we got through the whole episode and there was nothing. And we got right to the end. We get into the close and it was
some
like,
shit.
yo, gotta have some shit pop off.
What's up,
We gotta
fool?
keep this
What's
thing
up,
running,
fool?
'cause even
What's
after
up,
we stop
fool?
recording,
My one
it might
homie-
be some shit.
My
like,
boy that was like walking backwards and he was doing this one. He was like, yeah. I was like, you're that motherfucker who waits until he gets behind security to talk shit.
Right.
Exactly.
right,
He was like,
right,
oh, this is a one-way street.
Right.
I can get away over
right.
here. And I'm
He
like,
was literally across the street.
and I'm just looking,
Talking
I'm like,
shit, yeah.
but this is one-way street. That is not a one-way street. They're going to follow you.
They're
that
gonna
way.
fuck him
He
up.
really
They going
did
to fuck his ass up.
appear to have some last words. There was like, yeah, as he hit that corner and made it right. Yeah. What's that? Hill Street? Like,
That's
so we're
Hill.
on 9th and
That's
Hill.
Hill.
Yeah. 9th, that's Hill Street. He made it hit that right on Hill.
But speaking of last words, what is one of your favorite cocktails? One of your go-tos? Because for me, mine is, and you know, my new bar manager, Matt, does not listen to the show yet, but at some point he might hear this, so I'm going to talk my shit. He has said that a Oaxacan last word doesn't exist. I agree, but also disagree. I think that we also have two
But it
different
does.
recipes.
We've made it.
Yeah, we've made it, but I've made it because of a recipe that I found online with the name, everything. But he has another recipe that actually has a little bit of pineapple added to it. That's very exciting. I want to try that out. But it was just one of those things that reminded me of how many variations and riffs on cocktails there are. You know, he himself has said, I have 30 riffs on a Negroni that I've learned over the years where I can just make all these different variations on a Negroni or an old fashioned or whatever cocktail. It's just very refreshing to constantly see this industry always trying to reinvent itself instead of just staying on, oh, we have our classics and we have our modern classics. And then we have whatever the fuck someone just made up right now. This industry, in my opinion, that's why you can't just have robots do it just to tie everything together. You can't have a robot do our job because a robot's not going to think outside the box.
Nope.
Even with AI,
They're gonna look up what they
still goes, okay, this is what everyone else said and this is what I'll give you. But at the end of the day, you need someone on the other end to be able to tell you, hey, because a robot's just going to say, answer these questions, I give you this cocktail, I don't care if you like it. Whereas
There's no
you may be in
personality
front
behind
of-
it.
Yeah, you may be in front of a guest and they say, oh, make me something this and that, and you may come to a consensus on what you think that you want to give them.
Yeah.
That
You're
is one of the
in-person
best.
chemist.
Yes, and that's one of the
a
best
machine,
feelings.
Like, sure, the machine can quantify those measurements and measure them out and whatever, and produce like a factory setting version of any drink. But you know, it's that that personable experience that goes into it. Especially the bitches that be like, I want something sweet,
Yeah,
or a little bit more of this. A
and
little
the
bit,
robot will say, sweet drink,
yeah, X amount.
pour, you're done.
Yeah.
And yeah, your liquor counts will always be on.
Yeah,
Imagine telling the robot, can you make it strong?
yeah.
Does not compute. You want a double? No. Just make it strong. Does not
Here you
compute.
go,
Does not compute.
Here you go,
Error.
you weak bitch.
Error.
Or it just pops up.
Error 404 cannot.
No, it just pops up a list of fucking like psychologists in your area. It sounds like you need some help. You are alcohol dependent.
Speaking of strong, a lot of your drinks,
Yes.
are
Yes.
heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
But they're heavy not because I add more alcohol. They're heavy because I make my cocktails the way that I feel that guest wants it to be made.
Okay.
A make it strong person, I'm still gonna give you the same amount of alcohol, but I'm gonna pull out some of the things that dilute that taste for you, so that you feel all of the alcohol.
So that I will be spinning when I get up from my seat, because that's why you make.
All you gotta do is put your foot down and get your equilibrium.
Yeah, especially when
It
you made
works.
me that. You made me a cognac French 75.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
that's
are
one
good
of-
though.
That drink
Those are good.
and a porn star martini. Those are my two favorite drinks.
I like porn star martinis, but at my bar we're not able to make them. We don't have passion fruit.
Were you there for the frozen one we did?
I was there for the frozen. I was there when they made it. I tasted
porn
that
star
shit,
in the
I put
snow?
that shit on the map.
Frozen.
A porn star in the snow.
martini.
Yeah.
And it came with a champagne bump
Ooh.
and a Luxardo cherry.
Ooh.
It was.
It wasn't bad, but it didn't sell as much as they thought it would.
Yeah, I mean, but it has mezcal. You have to know what your demographic is.
Right.
Not everyone has caught up to mezcal.
No, this one had vodka.
Yeah, it was
Oh
about-
yeah.
This one was made
Porn
with vodka.
Porn star is vodka. Sorry.
Yeah, this one was made with
I was
vodka.
thinking of Naked and Famous. That's my fault.
Malcolm, is there anything you want to plug? Like you want to do your socials? Anything that you want to projects or any places?
I'd say
music,
for
whether it
now,
be anything.
No. I'm pretty much just working my own 9 to 5, and I have some contracts on the side. I'm focused on that. I will say that I am in the process of trying to open my own bar. Look at me, stop.
Okay.
Look at me just being like, by the way, I have this big project. So long story short, it's in the developmental stages.
Okay.
I want to own a bar in the historic district. It's going to be speakeasy type, similar layout to Here and Now. It's going to have a small theater. It's going to be called A Friend's Place. It's the lingo is a place where the hidden gems go to shine, a place for the suits after the 9 to 5, first dates, casual hangouts, a friend's place.
Where you going, a friend's place?
Yeah. And I came up with this concept because like most memorable nights or stories start with, oh, I was out with some friends. I was at so-and-so house. We met up with so-and-so. So I want to
Like that.
encapsulate that into a nightly experience for people who want to. It's gonna be a jazz lounge, but even if you don't like jazz, you can come and like listen to so whatever kind of music.
Go sit in the booth and have a conversation.
I have a little bit of not an extensive food menu, but like some snacky foods and stuff. But it's in the works. I actually have these.
You got blueprints?
These posters.
Yeah.
All
Oh.
right. Here's my business plan.
Oh shit. Okay. We're getting an exclusive first look here.
I saw those earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of faded now, but they say a friend's place on it.
Oh.
There's two glasses clicking, but the official
Okay.
logo of Friend's Place, I'm gonna get me and my best friend Denisha.
Like this.
We're gonna clink glasses the next time we're out, and we're gonna take a picture of that, and we're gonna have that blown up
There you
into
go.
the logo of that.
There you
So
go.
it's gonna be an authentic source of the original like advertisement. So, and it's not
Check
gonna
this
have
shit out.
music that's
Yeah.
going
So
through it.
so for everybody else out there that didn't catch that part,
Yep.
it
There you go.
says it's a friend's place, but it is two wine glasses clanking
Yep.
and everything like that. It's actually
And
really
the official
it's a
logo
really
will
nice
have
design.
me and
Yeah.
my friend Denisha. We have like I have
What's
this
her name?
big Denisha.
Denisha.
Born and raised Compton, California. Shout out Denisha Millender, best friend
Big
since
D.
third grade. Since third motherfucking grade,
Damn.
having back on the playground and shit.
Okay.
I was that guy, that boy that would like double dutch and shit. I could turn rope, I could jump and all this shit. And kids made fun of me. Was like, oh no, he a sissy, he a wimp, this. And Denisha fucking stood up for me and shit. So like, me and Denisha go way back.
Oh shit. I love that. And now you guys are gonna open up a.
No, she's not opening up with me, but like, she supports me.
She's gonna be
She's not in the
okay.
industry like us.
She's a rider.
Yeah, she's a writer.
There you go.
Okay.
And lastly, I grew up hanging out in jazz clubs. My granny was a jazz singer, and she wanted me to sing with her, but I had like this high, twangy ass voice. Still do. Still do. Hey, what's up? My name is Malcom. Like, no, I know. Like, even like I know I talk like that, and I've accepted it. I've been like, hey, what's up? I come in way over here. Like, it's just like. Anyway, my grandma was a jazz singer, and she used to take me to all of her jazz performances at clubs around LA and stuff. And she was kind of like a Nina Simone type. And I would sit there front row and just hang out in these dimly lit club spaces and watch all these women come in their nightgowns and guys dressed up in these fly jazzy suits. And you know, she would get on stage and do her set, and it would be just like this dimly lit area, and with about 70, 80 people. And when she would start singing, it'll be her, stand-up bass player, a piano player, a drummer, a horn or two, and the room would just go silent. And my granny just had them like that. So and I started playing saxophone with her. Actually, I backed her up a few times. I'm glad. I'm really sad that I didn't get it on tape before she passed. But backed her up in high school. Like when I was backed her up. I was hanging out in like
That's a full circle
jazz
moment
clubs and stuff. You know, so that's why I want to start this. You know.
Okay.
I really connect to it in that sense. And like my musical roots go back. I got Miles Davis. Well, I'm sorry, John Coltrane, Dial Africa, Duke Ellington. You know, another Duke Ellington, and my friend Anton. And I really want to do it for the people that look like me, that have been musically, you know, inclined or talented in the past. They had to go through the back door. Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, you know, all these big greats, you know, Count Basie, Duke Ellington, that just would blow the roof off and have this crowd silent, had to enter through the back door to get into the venue. So when I start this spot, like I got those people in mind. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have that aura. That's just how I move about life, musically at least. Musically, that's my musical disposition with things, like that old school black jazzy flavor. But a friend's place is gonna, you know, be a place that's it's welcoming, obviously, to all backgrounds and types and people, and even the bitches that don't know what they want. Y'all can still come through too. Like we got shit for y'all on the menu.
They got to pay a cover.
You know, let your friends come. Let your friends take care of you.
I just want to get down to a point where people, especially in the downtown LA area, be like, "Oh yeah, you heard of a friend's place?" I'm like, yo, that's a good little spot. You should pop up there.
It's a little low key spot. Yeah. Okay.
So
let's make
within
that happen,
the next
man.
2 to 3 years, I want to have that open.
And let's go for a lot less than that.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm being, and
You're being realistic.
I want this on tape too.
Yeah,
but I'm like just getting investors, and as you guys both
January
know,
29th, 2024.
As you guys both know, with COVID and stuff, COVID basically ramaged the restaurant industry. Took us all out.
Yes.
Most of us didn't have jobs for a while and shit. And you know, I want to create something not completely resistant, but that appeals to investors as durable, long term, that's worth putting money into. You know, if a situation like COVID COVID is here to stay, but if it gets to those heights again, if that represents itself, you know, like they still have the financial investing there, you know, and backing and belief, consumer confidence to move forward with it. But full transparency, I've talked to a few investors. I had one guy said that he was on and said that he'll give me. Oh, look at me just telling my tea.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to tell it all.
Yeah, you don't want to give it all away, but
we do understand.
Yeah, my tea.
But like,
we do understand.
Like
it's in motion.
This guy was looking to invest enough for the first few months of the establishment. I'll let you guys look that up and see how much it costs to run a restaurant for 3 months.
Okay.
But he was looking to invest that amount, and out of nowhere he ghosted me.
Yeah, we actually had the same thing happen last month as well.
He got back to me 2 months later and was like, "Yo, by the way, this ain't right for me at this time." And I'm like, "Yeah, you could have said that."
Yeah, you could have said that
2 months ago.
Wait. So this guy that was talking to you guys, was he invested in the podcast? Or
yeah, he was invested.
He was where his conversation were exchanged, no amount was ever really agreed upon. But when it came time to come down and talk business, we were all sitting around in the living room like, where you at?
Where you at?
hour passed by. Like, all right, well then let's have our own meeting of our own, and we got to discuss our own thing. And even later on that day, even to this day now,
still haven't heard anything.
What's still left unread, delivered?
Yeah, we reached out at the moment. Hey, where you at? Normally, and that was another thing. That person, when they would come and stay in town, when they would come to LA, they stayed across the street from where we live,
right next door.
And
next door.
I'm looking at them and I'm like, so all these conversations we had,
next door.
I didn't know you would always stay across the street. So then I said, next time you come out here, you need to.
Y'all stay at the Pegasus, so he was in the Standard.
Yeah.
This motherfucker was in the Standard.
Yeah.
And y'all stay at the Pegasus.
Yeah.
I know, right there. I know that corner.
Yeah.
I know that spot. Like Limericks, he was staying at Limericks. I'm gonna say he was staying at Limericks.
Literally, like that.
He was
just like
right
that
across the street. And then they came in to come in and have this conversation. The day came for that to happen, and we're sitting there, like you said, we're sitting there waiting to have a conversation for a meeting that they asked for. We were ready to go. We had a whole plan of what to tell them, what we were planning to do, what we needed, and our overhead, as you see, our overhead is low.
Yeah.
But for what we were planning to do and everything we have in the works, I was like, our overhead is extremely low compared to what that person's ambitions were. I was like, this isn't going to cost you much of anything.
It's really
we're
not.
already on the rise. We're already growing. We have that groundswell here in LA. It's just it hasn't translated to other cities, to other states. It hasn't blown up yet, and a lot of
hasn't
that,
caught on online yet.
And a lot of that has been our production. Like we're doing the best we can with the equipment we have, but then now we got that figured out. It's just one of those things where, like you said, your establishment that you want to build, that you want to have the correct investors, you want people to come in for the long term because what you're building is long term. And that is what we have done and what we aspire to continue to do. But those are the places that last the longest when you really think about it. The places that really just pop up and they're just about money and they're just about that notoriety for a small amount of time, they do not last because you're not worried about the guest overall. You're worried about the guest spending money. And if all you're worried about is the guest coming in and spending money with you and you're not giving them a reason to come back, eventually it all wears off and eventually your doors will close.
And I hate to relate it back to In-N-Out. And I don't even want to end on In-N-Out's note, but I feel like that's why In-N-Out has kept its doors open for so long, because a lot of people have the same experience when they come back, hi, how are you? That
there's something to be said for that.
The manners, everything down to the mannerism and the manners within the interaction, that culminates to a larger perception.
Yes.
In the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got nothing else. This guy's dumpster diving and it's distracting me. But thank you, Malcolm, so much.
You guys for having me.
Thank you again.
What's your socials if you want to plug that?
Socials, check it, people. Power from within, traditional spelling. It's underscore power from within followed by another underscore. You can check me on Instagram, on Facebook. It's Malcolm Roby, spelled Malcolm Roby. It's pronounced Roby, like Kobe, but with much less money. Robey, Roby. On Facebook. Feel free to add me on either one of those platforms. In the meantime, I'll be chilling. I live right here in downtown LA. In the historic district. This sign right here outside the door window. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we're right at the intersection of the Jewelry District, Historic District, and the Arts District. All in one. Fashion District, excuse me. All in one.
Just all around it.
I'm positioned right here on 9th and Broadway.
Also, real quick before you leave, because like you said, you didn't want to end on an In-N-Out note.
No, of course.
But there was one thing that we all agreed that you were going to talk about, and then the show started, and it's the one thing we have not discussed.
What?
That.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's over there. Tell people who you are. Tell people what you've done. Talk your shit.
Man.
Like
Okay.
this is the opportunity to just let people know exactly.
Yeah,
who you
that's
are,
right.
who
You
are.
did. I forgot. I'm glad he remembered.
Talk your shit.
All right, so
Talk
I'll
your
make
shit.
this quick. So,
We'll make sure we got you. You're good though.
all right. All right, so I'm born and raised Los Angeles. Around my place, I'm not sure if the camera angles are gonna pick these up, but they're drum major pictures from when I was in marching band. As I talked about earlier, I grew up in the jazz scene with my grandma, hanging out in the jazz clubs and stuff. And she kind of piqued my interest in jazz. My go-to genre is jazz. I'm a saxophone player and jazz singer. I got a little voice on me. I ain't gonna speak for you now. But what I do here in Los Angeles, I am a full-time human resources recruiter and consultant. I do it for a nonprofit full-time currently, as well as I do it on the side for several contracts. I've also worked full-time in the past for Amazon, a company called The Marketing Store. These are Amazon. I worked in like sales and branding and marketing store as well. I did that as well. But yeah, I just been living on my own here in downtown Los Angeles for about 7 years now. After graduating, I was a pre-law student, but decided that human resources was more of my fit. I like connecting people to new opportunities. That's what I like about being a recruiter. So basically, when you guys get you guys apply somewhere and the person calls you and is like, hey, Paul, I want to follow up on your application, talk about next steps, blah, blah, blah. I'm the nigga you talking to. And basically how it goes is within these organizations, I steer the ship when it comes to talent acquisition and how we go about it. So right now, let me use Amazon for example. So you guys know how you see those ads like right before a YouTube video, and it's Amazon sponsored. I recruited salespeople that would sell that ad space to anywhere from mom and pops to big corporations. So I was on LinkedIn poaching people from all their different organizations like Google, Microsoft, XYZ, blah, 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 blah. And these are like account executives with like 5 to 7 years, 10 years experience, top level salespeople, not like no entry level sales shit. People that know how to run a region and have connects and stuff. So doing this type of recruitment actually got me, it put me on. It opened doors to another number of connections. So put it like this, I hired, when I first started recruiting, for example, at Amazon, there are people that I hired that were entry level more so sales, like 4 to 5 years of experience that wanted to get like that next salary bump. Right now, they're directors, and they're reaching out to me, and they're like, hey, Malcolm, for the Amazon ads team, we have 15, 20 requisitions or open positions that we want to fill for account executives. Can we bring you on at 30 to 40 an hour for about the next 6 months? And you can work completely remote. You can, as long as you just send us resumes and you set up all these meetings and you do all these people's background checks and you make sure that they're like legit, we'll follow your lead. So in the talent acquisition space, it's basically like, it's not just looking at a resume and saying, okay, you're qualified for the job. It's being a full-time matchmaker for all of these up and down needs of the company. So between being laid off and not having a job completely, and between being like filling that position that's gonna save the company. Yeah, that I'm that middle guy, basically. And I do it full time, like I said, for a nonprofit, and I do it on a contractual basis for. I've done it for several different companies, and I'm in the process of interviewing right now for my next contract. But that's the name of the game. Talent acquisition. I would say if any word to the wise is LA, especially big cities, is about who you know. Because like I said, there are people that are hired at the account executive level that now they're at the director level and they're my clients. And the only reason why they're my client is because they're like, yo, you really saw my experience and like heard me out. You got me my job at XYZ Corporation, and now I'm a director, so I need a few more people to come on. Of course, we're gonna give you that business. Yeah, filling the position can
one hand washes the other.
Recruiter commission is anywhere from 2 to about 10 to 15,000, and I feel at least when I was working for Amazon, at least I was filling like 5 account manager, account executive positions a month, and that was like $6 grand a pop. So for a few months, I was swimming in it, just because I was doing all this matchmaking. Yeah. But right now, I'm working my 9 to 5, and I'm just out here trying to make it work. Open to new opportunities. I want to get back into serving. A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, no, you got this corporate job, blah blah blah. Like you make all this money now." Like, no. I will always remain down to earth. and I'm actually looking for another server job just to keep my wheels sharp and to stay up to date as to what's going on in the industry and shit.
And to get you out of the house.
Get me out of this work uniform. I ain't gonna lie. Like every days I sit here, I don't because for conference calls I don't even turn on my screen. I literally just be sitting here chilling. Shit, I be in Target. I be going shopping. I be going for runs. I be walking around like just you know what I'm saying in my drawers and shit. You know, just waking up in my own spot as a dude. Like in the morning, I just be like, I open these windows. I air my shit out in front of the windows. I go and make some coffee. I just be standing there like in my drawers, like just walking around. I'm like, I got a call at 9. I got to call at another call at 2:30.
Oh my god,
that's comfortable.
Other than that, like that's pretty much my day. Yeah. But for the most part, I would say recruiting is you eat with what you kill. Yeah. Because you're most of these jobs you're awarded like a base ass salary or some shit, and then they give you commission on top. And I've been able to capitalize on that because I'm well connected, the commission part at least, because I know all these people, and I'm like commission, plus my like little like base ass salary. But other than that, I'm taking it day by day. I'm hoping to get back into playing jazz more often and stuff. Recently, I've been swimming in just like contract work and scheduling interviews and all this stuff.
But I still don't want to lose. Talk your shit.
Oh yeah,
Come on now.
Okay.
Tell them who you is.
Okay,
tell them what you did.
I am the only I'm the second black drum major of the University of Wisconsin. A drum major is basically the guy that not only leads the formations, but you're basically the captain of the marching band. I think a lot of people think of like when I mention drum major, they're like, oh, you don't. I didn't know you play drums. I'm like, no. Think of drum major as like drill captain. So at practice, I'm basically yelling at everybody, and I'm in charge of all the rank leaders. And like you know those formations that they make on the fields.
Yeah.
I go up on the ladder, and I'm like, clarinets, 2 steps over. Piccolos, you're a little bit sharp. No. Okay. Tubas, back off a little bit. Drums, give me a little bit more. Like you're in charge of kind of orchestrating and bringing that all together. And what that is, and in the form of like a captain, is the drum major. Usually the drum major is a junior or a senior. You have to know, sometimes you have to know how to read music very well. That's one thing I know how to do. I know how to read music. Like if you give me basic sheet music, I can whistle it. Like I know the key. I can tell you the key that it's in, and I can whistle it for you. I can do that with a saxophone in the key of E flat, but yeah, I can whistle. I can look at a sheet of music and whistle it and just know what it is. It's a music is a language in and of itself, and that's just comes from being trained. But I had these up around my place because when I went away to college, again, first one in my family to go away to a 4-year university. My mom didn't want me to go. She was like, "Oh, you should go to UCLA." Blah blah blah. But got this scholarship to a program named Posse, which recruits young leaders from urban areas. Usually these people are like just like top test scores, top GPAs and stuff. And they send them away to top universities. And the program was started because the mission statement is, the director said, I would have never dropped out of college myself if I would have had a posse. So like or a crew have my back. So they send these 10 diverse kids from all backgrounds in cohorts of 10 or so scholars every year. So in my posse, for example, there's me. I was involved in student council, had the high GPA, was in marching band, blah, blah, blah. We have Masha, who went to High Tech High, who won the robotics championship her senior year of high school.
Damn.
We had, you know what I'm saying? Like these top performing kids out of these urban areas. So yeah, I have this up just to be a testament to myself. Coming as far as I've come, you know, it's some hard shit. It really is. I think I just noticed like to start from the bottom. Like I don't want to have illicit pity or anything like that, but I just noticed like to start from the bottom and work your way up. Like
of course,
level by level. Whether it's like when I was away at school, I still worked. I was starving. I was broke. I ate ramen and shit. But I mean, because I had my room and board paid for, but I still had to like support myself, and which I was still bad at doing. And here I am in the Midwest, you know, out here at marching band practice, snow up to here, high stepping my ass off, like my skin is turning all purple and all these kinds of colors because my black ass not used to this shit, you know, and just thugging it out, microaggressions from fellow students and professors. I'm not trying to say it was like the South or anything. I actually spent summers in the South, Gulfport, Mississippi, growing up, so I know what that's like to be called a nigga to my face, at least. So, yeah, like when I was drum major, that definitely really showed me like what I could accomplish as a leader, as someone that's musically inclined. You don't always have to be this singer that's out front, look at me or whatever, but when it comes to connecting with people and just corralling people and bringing them together for a greater cause. Because you guys seen marching bands perform, how like, unique and just this immense sense of wholesomeness that you get when they hit certain points and dynamics of the piece, and it's So as I said, like that's my last game in Camp Randall Stadium. That's my staff. That's my game day staff that I use. That's my plume that fell out my hat. That's right there on the 45-yard line. You can kind of see it.
Yeah, I see it at the very bottom.
It fell out during the show, and I actually pivoted and turned and went to the 40, which is where my mark was. And I was just so in it. Like, I understand what it's like for like live singers to be on stage and like lose it and just be so into the performance, because like I had to keep high stepping. I had that whistle in my mouth and I'm twirling and I'm like, yo, let's go band. Shit.
Show must go
cleats
on.
right there. So yeah, my place is a testament to all of these trials and tribulations. I also got to show you guys the picture by my fridge as well. There's a story behind that. It's like the picture that they took of me when I first got the scholarship. Yeah.
Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah, I'll show you that a little bit later. But other than that, yeah, simple place. That's my story. Marching band drum major, just looking to do good in the world.
You said second black drum major for the University of Wisconsin.
And the second black drum major for the University of Wisconsin. I'm the only drum major in USA collegiate sports to lead a marching band in his hometown.
Nice. And your hometown is?
Born and raised LA, and I led the band at the Rose Bowl, Pasadena.
Nice.
Yeah, 2013.
Hell yeah.
We played TCU, Stanford, and Oregon. We lost 3 times in a row.
That's
and that
but
was
still, you still led the band.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's
led the band.
It was just weird. Like, wait a minute, here I am, way away at this university, and we come back to my hometown for a bowl game. The football team happens to do that well that year.
Yeah.
I mean, before that, they were up there too, because I was in the age of Money Ball, Russell Wilson. I had classes in discussion sections with Russell Wilson and Money Ball. Yeah. Like, these motherfuckers are in my discussion section. Like, I don't want to like be edited out for this, but like, Money, like they walk in like just chill. You know, I sat right next to him in my Soch 351 discussion.
Damn.
Monty, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, thank you again for having us.
Thank you so much for having us and being on.
And everything else, you know, we really appreciate that. So if you have anything else,
Nothing else.
All right. Well, we're going to close out with this shot. And as always, you know, we want to thank you for having us and thank you all for some of your time.
Bye, everybody.